transition. Yeah.
And we are live. Excellent. Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. This is episode 8 of our Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign.
What?
I am your dungeon master, and today with me I have Base of Operations,
Hello.
Missy TTV, and a brand new player who's joining us today is Helen. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's just introduce. I just want to introduce you to our viewers, if we have any. But let's just go around and just say a little bit about ourselves. Can we start with you, Base? Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and your character and what you achieved in this campaign?
Why not? I'm Base of Operations, and I am a miniature painter here on Twitch. And tonight I am continuing my playing with Rogar, the Red Dragonborn Blacksmith, who is currently a level 3 fighter battle master.
Fantastic. And you are are you currently working on anything at the moment?
I'm working on tons of stuff at the minute. I've got Death Guard on the go, I've got Walking Dead on the go, I've got Gaslands on the go. I am working on all sorts right now.
Yeah, I got really exciting messages about the arrival.
Yes, of my Gaslands book. It's on my it's on my new shelves right now.
On your new shelves. Everyone look behind.
Yep, on my new shelves. Up there. New shelves. There we are. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, the boss said that his room was too messy and
yeah, my daughter needed it. It is very nice.
And our next streamer is CTV. Tell us a little about yourself and character, please.
Yeah, so I'm a variety streamer. I do creative crafting, like knitting. I do creative arts, like miniature painting, watercolors, and I also do writing. I also do PC games, and normally Sunday nights I do horror games because people like to see me work my pants.
Please, everybody tune in. Hilarious. I live in the same apartment.
And my character is Vistra. She is a dwarf rogue. She's now level 3, so she now is an arcane trickster. So she's got a couple of spells up her sleeve. She's slightly scared, to put it mildly. Anything that's ankle high or more is not good for her. And yeah, she's a very brave, but she does have a slight sad thing. Nothing like the whole, oh, my parents are dead, my revenge, nothing like that. But there was a sad thing to her. And so she's very vulnerable, to be fair. But on the outside, she puts a mask on. But yeah, that's Vistra.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Busy. And Kellum, you're just joining us, but can you tell us a little bit about who you are and your character?
Hey, got a new character joining the group here. He's a cleric, a war master cleric. He's going to tolerate the rest of these guys till he can whip them into the correct faith and try to keep them alive while we're doing it.
Fantastic, brilliant. And I'm many more games. I am on the Boarderline Streamers
site. Sorry to interrupt.
I am a painter. I'm also a miniature. A war gamer. I love GW games. I love anything by Osprey. I really want to get into Oathmark when that comes out. That's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to later on this year. Osprey's very own major large miniatures game for the first war scale one. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so where we left off in the last game, we had a very exciting game, and these guys were all commissioned by Governor Nighthill to go to hunt down the raiders who've been attacking Greenest, find out how many there were, who was in charge, and bring those numbers and that information back to Greenest, to Governor Nighthill, where he would reward you.
Darling,
Yes.
can you turn your mic on and off because you're breaking up quite badly?
Not a problem.
See if that helps.
Is that better?
For now, yeah.
And you can say, because I won't always see the chat. Just...
Yeah, I tried.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay, so just to quickly sum that up then, you were commissioned by Governor Nighthill to go, Governor Nighthill of Greenest Town, to follow after the raiders that had been attacking them, to find out information about who was in charge and how many raiders there were, so that Greenest could better prepare itself in the future. He has offered to pay you some money to do that. You also went there because you were asked to hunt down the whereabouts of a monk named Leosin. Okay, and basically Nassim Waldra was his name. He asked you to hunt down his master, who he believes had been captured by the enemy, and try to get him free. Finally, you were also asked by Elistra, who was Elistrand, who was a half-elf drow, who has asked you to help find Talia, who is her friend, a childhood friend of Weird Hal, who has gone missing, and she believes it has something to do with the raid as well. You guys managed to make your way into the camp through different means. We had an invisible bard running around who was infiltrating and finding information. We had a stealthy dwarven rogue who sort of skirted the perimeter, found out where the guards' positions were, and also discovered a nifty cave on her way back that you guys were able to use for your long rest. And finally, lastly but not leastly, we had Rogar storm into the camp in all his dragonly glory, and in the end ended up causing a bit of a riot amongst the kobolds of the camp by starting what seems to be a cult.
I will point out, he tried to stealth into the camp, but got seen.
Yeah, you met a halfling and had a conversation. You even got a nice clap on the back by Cyan Wrath, who saw you in your sermon and actually quite enjoyed it and clapped you on the back.
And at which point, at this point in time, just for the viewers at home, at this point of time, the rest of the party has just seen Rogar get friendly with the enemy and has not yet had a chance to explain himself.
Excellent. So basically what's happened now is you guys found this cave, and you all met up in this cave to have where you had a rest. Weird Hal, unfortunately, has come down with a very bad case of food poisoning. And he's going to need to sort of stay and protect the cave and also be near the latrines for the next, I don't know, probably next week until we see each other again. But as you sort of, Callum, I'm going to introduce your character in a minute, but just before we do so, we have Vistra and Rogar are sort of sitting in the cave together, and you guys can begin. And I'll tell you when Callum is going to pop up.
Okay. Oh my goodness! You have to tell me, Rogar, what on earth were you doing with those kobolds? They looked absolutely, I don't know, inspired by you. Are you truly who you say you are?
Rogar instantly, as soon as she starts saying that, will just start low grumble growling. They are no friends of mine, let me assure you that. I was seen. We were trying to sneak into the camp, and a blasted kobold at the entrance to the camp saw us approaching. There's nothing else I could do apart from just try my best to fit in.
That must have been really hard for you.
I have spent my entire life, thus far, trying to prove to the world that not all Dragonborns are born evil. And every time we've approached this blasted cult, it's the only thing I've been able to do to stop us from all getting killed. And quite frankly, it makes me feel particularly dirty.
I can understand that. But also, what's with Mel? I haven't seen him at all.
You hear a grumble. You hear a grumble inside the cave.
Oh wait, he was seen. Sorry, GM. Weird how spell wore off, didn't it?
Yes,
No,
you
he
saw
was
him.
not.
Yeah.
Yes, you saw him. Yes, you saw him. His spell wore off when he got outside the camp. So he and Rogar were together when you signaled
Okay,
them.
so my bad. So, oh my goodness, is Weird Pal all right? I didn't see him for most of the time. What was he doing?
It's outside.
The bard, the little fellow, actually was quite useful in the camp. He made himself invisible and managed to glean some information from one of the prisoners. I think it's actually one of the ones we've been looking for.
Did he tell you who?
Leosin.
Leosin. Oh, Leo.
The one whose choker I'm currently wearing.
Yes.
Sorry.
Is he okay?
Okay, DM, just very quickly,
Yep.
with Miniax's unfortunate absence tonight, am I to assume that while we were kind of waiting for her, it's okay for me to share all the information that he found out? Are we going to have chatted
I mean, you guys were together, standing before you sort of met.
Yeah, okay. Because I know everything that he found out. I wrote it all down. I just wanted to make sure that my character knows it. All right. So yeah, he found Leosin currently chained up inside the camp, along with six other humans, or 6 including him.
6 of the humans.
That works because I actually saw from the watchtower 6 humans being taken to like a mining kind of area in this place. So yeah, but I didn't see any elves or anything like Talus. I didn't see her.
He specifically said his friend wasn't there. Unfortunately, his friend, the Leosin himself, doesn't want to leave.
Okay.
It appears that he's here under his own volition. He wants to be here to gain information, much like we were sent here to do.
Oh my goodness, bless him. But he's in so much danger, doesn't he realise that? Surely we can do something to help him.
Just as you're each other, you start to hear sort of like from outside sort of the entrance to your cave. You start hearing sort of almost like some loud sort of like grunting sounds. It's like a sounds of exertion. Someone who's sort of like working out or doing some heavy lifting activity.
I grab my warhammer in both hands. I thought you said this cave cannot be seen from the outside.
I whisper to Roga, I thought so too, and she gets her short bow ready.
Okay, and just as you're readying your weapons, preparing for a combat, a mailed hand sort of appears over the. I mean, it's kind of obscured by all the shrubbery and brush in front of your cave. But this mailed hand sort of just appears on top of the plateau that your cave currently is sort of part of, and you see a human sort of bedecked in armor, sort of carrying a shield on his back, and he's got a mace slung over his shoulder as well, and he's how old is this character, Kellum?
We're going to say mid-20s. He's been, in the monastery for a while and done his training, so he's mid-20s.
Excellent. Oh, also, can you do me a favor? Can you change your character name, so your name in Roll20 to your character name, just so that I can remember your name more, because I keep having to go and check your character sheet.
Well, let me see if I can figure out how to do that.
It's under settings.
To the cog on the right corner, top right corner. There's a cog where the chat sort of area is. There's a cog, right. Click on that, and then it will show your name. You type it.
All right.
Nice.
Absolutely brilliant. So Pedrick Stromberg. Brilliant. I will remember that. I will try and remember that. Or Petty, depending on how I feel. All right. So, so Pedrick, you've been sort of like you've sort of been part of this monastery for a while. It's a monastery which is not too far away from the town of Greenest. In fact, a number of the priests of Chantia, which is the local goddess, which is sort of the goddess of agriculture and fertility, they often sort of send a lot of their priests to your monastery in order to learn some basic sort of defense abilities and a bit of like sort of self-defense combat. And you are aware of Greenest. And when you heard that Greenest was under attack, you and a number of members of the order were sent to Greenest in order to try and provide some aid. Unfortunately, you got there a bit too late. The town of Greenest had already, the raiders had already left the town of Greenest, and instead you were greeted by Governor Nighthill. Governor Nighthill is the sort of the leader of the town, alongside Escobar the Red, who is his who is sort of the local guard captain. And once you arrived, you were sort of greeted by Nighthill. Nighthill thanked you for coming. He told you all about this group of adventurers that had come in and rescued a large number of the town members and managed to get them to the keep, and had even faced down a champion of these raiders, and were now currently in hot pursuit of these raiders under his direction. He wondered, he knew that the party was a little bit short-handed, and he wondered whether anyone in order would be able to follow after them in order to maybe provide some aid, some backup. You volunteered. You're quite a young member of your order, but you are well-versed in some of the more basic magics of your discipline, and you thought that possibly that you would be able to provide some stability, some extra backup to these adventurers who've done so much for a town which has such close links with your order. However, the main question is how to find them. Okay, because of course they are have gone off on their own and done their own thing. This is something that sort of like really stumped a lot of the people in Greece as to how to actually catch up with you guys and find you without disturbing the raider camp. When suddenly, from sort of like outside the keep, a fussy man, sort of wearing sort of like long robes and a little tape measure around his neck, sort of like came up to you and sort of told you that one of the members of the party had actually signed up to be a founding member of the local guilds and seamstresses guild. Part of this membership came with a membership card that included a locator tracker spell on it, so that his little delivery heart elf could find them in order to make deliveries.
The damn bard got himself bugged.
No, Jack.
He obviously remains dead, but any and all data can be used in the production of further development of products exclusively for the Tailors and Seamstresses Guild. And of course, any other person would be willing to pay through the nose for the information. He actually says that he has a card to give you This card is the actual official document, and it is linked to the card that Weird Hal is carrying. As long as you have this card, you will know the general direction, and it will sort of glow and get sort of warm as you get closer to them. So you use this card to sort of follow in the tracks of these individuals. You come across like a little sort of camp, and there's a lot of you sort of sneak past this camp because there's a number of kobolds, and they're picking over the bodies of a number of cultists who seem to have been smashed in by what looks like to be a heavy hammer and a number of arrows sort of piercing their bodies. You also then pass through another camp where it looks like an ambush has been sprung, not to the betterment of the ambushers actually, but and again, more bodies, and some of them seem to have been stripped of their belongings, some of them down to their underclothes. And so as you follow along, you sort of get towards where you actually see the outlying the opening of the camp. But just as you're about to go sort of towards the entrance of the camp, you realize that the card is getting cooler. And so you sort of veer towards the right and keep walking. And as you do, it's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And you get to sort of the edge of a cliff, part of this sort of plateau. And looking up, you can see there are almost like handholds leading up to what is a very well-concealed plateau. And you start to climb, sort of grumbling as you go. This has been a hell of a journey for you, just to catch up with them. And as you climb, the first thing you see as you reach the summit of the plateau is you actually see a very angry-looking dragonborn with his hammer and shield prepared, and a dwarf who seems about ready to jump back into the shadows with her bow, with a bow raised and an arrow knocked to the bow. Okay, so this is your introduction to the group.
Vistra looks at this new person that's entered, and she says to him, quite aggressively, "Who are you? You don't look like one of the fellow raiders. Speak quickly."
As he looks around, kind of almost like he's talking to himself, he's like, what have we gotten ourselves into this time? He looks into the cave and he says, "Relax, be calm. Do I look like the abomination that would seek forth to discredit the order of the people in the land? No, it's not me." Looks back up and he says, "What have you brought me to?" Looks back into the cave and says, "I am Pedrick. I have been sent forth on this mighty quest to find a group of adventurers brave enough to face the abomination. Would that be you? Because if not, I'm sorry, I may have picked the wrong cave entrance, but..." And he just kind of stares and looks back in, and his eyes glance over to the draconic figure, and he doesn't even reach for his weapon as of yet. He just glances in and says, "I am not your enemy as of yet."
Okay, what is this abomination?
The abomination? Anything that desecrates the land in the name of evil is the abomination. Come on, look around. I know you've seen these little furry monstrosities. That's what I'm after.
Okay.
I point at him and I'd say to Vistra, "He's kind of speaking my language here."
This hesitantly lowers her short bow and says, "You look like you'd be on a trip. Would you care for something to eat?"
To eat? He thinks for a moment and then thinks a little better of it. He goes, "At the moment, I am I'm not in need of substance. I have been sent by the captain of the guard. I believe the man's name told me he was Nightingale, and that I was to seek out this group."
That sounds like Nighthill to me.
Yes, Nighthill.
Nighthill,
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
I'm gonna stand to one side of the cave entrance and I'll usher him in because we don't want to be seen out in the outside.
Yeah. And as you usher him in, Vistra says to him, how did you find where we were?"
By divine guidance, I would have to assume. And he looks up again and goes, "Is this the right place?" And then he looks back into the cave and he says, "I've just been wandering around trying to think where I would be if I wanted to attack these furry monstrosities, and it led me here."
Wow, you've got keen eyes and keen nose. what the heck is out. And Visha turns to and says, you are more likely to speak clearer than I. Can you please sort of tell him where we're at?
Picks up my notebook. Right.
No metagaming.
No, okay, so yeah, we're going to gather around inside the camp and I'm going to basically lay it down what we know so far. So, we know we were sent here by Nighthill himself and along with Escobar and Sergeant, whatever his name was, Sergeant Marcus.
Mm-hmm. Marcus.
There we are.
Marcus, sorry.
Marcus, yeah, I had changed it on here. Okay, so we're here because we needed to find out where the camp was of the attack on Greenus, which we have evidently found is here. We need to find out how many raiders there were. Now, in my undercover work, I found out that there are approximately, give or take, a few 10, 100 or so kobolds, and we're looking at approximately 80 cultists up in the upper camp. Among those, along with the information gleaned from Leosin, who has been prisoner, I don't know for how long. I don't think our friend Hal told us or asked, but we know there are at least 2 half dragons. I don't know if you found out, GM, if we found out what race Thrulum Mondath. I don't know. Did we find out what race that person is?
She was a sorcerer.
I know she was sorcerer.
Mondath is known as the wearer of... Okay, and you don't know what Mondath is.
Okay,
or who
no,
Mondath
that's fair.
is, but you do know that
we have
there
2
is
half dragons.
Cyanrath.
Yep, and Rezmir, who's a half black dragon.
Exactly.
So we have...
And Rezmir is in charge. You also know that Rezmir is...
And that's my next point was going to be, we're here to find out who's in charge. And we know that Rezmir, the half-black dragon, is in charge. And of course the other 2 are no doubt lieutenants or so on to that person. Now, of course, we're here to find out also why they're attacking and what's happening next. And a point of interest... Remember the Sallyport? He looks at Vistra and Hal. Remember the Sallyport attack? And they said that somebody must have let them in. There's a halfling in the camp who has been feigning to be the cook up at the keep for the last... Oh no, she didn't have to tell me how long. So
3 months. She said 3 months.
3 months. So that... just a point of interest, is why the Sallyport was attacked. They had an inside person.
Oh my goodness.
A
I
halfling
think it's
cook.
like poisonous.
So we have a traitor in our midst.
Not particularly in our midst, but certainly in the camp. But yeah, there's definitely, there was a traitor. Other than that, I think, to be honest with you, I would put forward, though, that without a direct assault to the camp, we've pretty much gleaned as much information we were actually sent here to get.
That is true. Also, don't forget that when I was at the top of the tower, and I'll ping it on the...
Yep.
Pinging Kellum is just you hold down the... and you'll start making a ring that's the colour of your
character.
Your character's dice colour. There you go, like that. So there, that cross, that was the watchtower. There was 2 human guards at the top and 1 at the bottom, as well as in, I think, the main was, I lost him out of view because I was higher up. There was, in that really fancy tent, there was 4 drakes, I believe, or bigger type of those dog drakes.
Yeah.
Dragon drake creatures as
well.
Don't forget those animals.
Yeah, they were larger than seen before, and they were blue,
Yeah.
large blue.
Pedrick has said that he's, and I've noticed it as well, I can kind of keep up with what you're saying, but your microphone is really breaking up a lot tonight.
No. Okay.
Is it mine, or is it both of ours?
Well,
No, you're the only microphone that was being used.
So could you?
I know, I'm just wondering whether it's because of where she's sitting, or whether it's me and her, or
Yeah, both of you are breaking up.
both of us are breaking up. Okay. I don't know why that is.
Just try muting anonymously or leaving the chat and coming back in. No, don't leave the chat because of the video.
No, if I leave the chat.
Okay, testing.
You're
1,
okay
2,
for the
3.
time being. I mean, it keeps coming and going,
Okay.
so you might just
sorry about that.
you might just have to repeat yourself a few times.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, you
well,
were
if I'm doing an explanation and you can't hear me, just let me know. But I can't see your chat, so you have to let me know in the
You say microphone or keyword, I'll just give a thumbs up or thumbs down to
that will help.
so
Yes,
we can see that there's a problem.
that will help me a lot. Thank you. Sorry, I can't see very well.
Yeah.
What's going on?
No issues. I hear you absolutely fine, to be honest. It's Vistra I'm having trouble hearing, and I don't know if it's because she's so far away from the mic or, but you guys are breaking up a little bit.
The microphone is literally.
Yes, but the microphone is facing.
Okay.
Okay, so what did you hear up to?
I would say that we heard you talking about, or I heard you talking about going to the watchtower, finding 2 humans at the top and 1 at the bottom.
Okay, and I also said that all drakes, those sort of dragon
the attack drakes over here, yeah.
At the main pretty tent, at the main, the tent.
Yeah.
Because as we were coming along, that were there, were very shoddy at the start, but then started getting more sophisticated in its design for more the cultists and the kobolds, and the main one, which I'm guessing is the Siren Wrath or Resmir. But he's still around here, so we've got to be careful. But we do have 6 human. We do have 6 humans that are victims. They're trapped here and they're doing slave labor. So do we want to leave them, or should we leave them and come back? Could we sneak them out somehow, or should we just go back to the peak?
This is the thing. Now, we were sent here as purely information gathering. And we've achieved at least, 50% of that. And a little bit extra information than what we were sent here to find. Now, I know, or do we know that Aurelio needs a dragon egg? We weren't there, were we?
Nope, he hasn't
we
shared
don't know
that
that.
with you
We
yet.
don't know
No, we don't know
that. So the only thing we do know is that there's only one person here, who is right here, who we were sent here to rescue, currently doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And admittedly, there are 6 other people in there that are victims, and I do feel for them. But unless you're planning a full-on frontal assault of this entire camp, there is no way that we are going to be able to sneak in, take 6 people, and leave without a fight. And this is deep in enemy territory. Now,
Pedrick, what?
I will remind you one. When you were looking at the camp, very organized, and there wasn't anybody on guard at the front of the thing. So at the moment, the camp is not particularly well organized and prepared. So
that's the point, and I will point that out as well. They are thoroughly unorganized, which would suggest that there are ways of being able to make the most of that situation. But then there's also a way for, that could go very wrong very, very quickly. And there's 180 enemies in this camp right now. At least 2 of them are half dragons.
Yeah.
piece of paper.
I mean, we already know that Siren Wrath is, unless he's gone to be in this camp, to rest. But if he's here, he is the right hand to Resmir. Wherever she is, he is normally nearby.
No doubt.
So that can't be good. Or if we go back to the keep, come back, and then she's, or I don't know if it's a she or he, that they're there as well as Siren, bad enough to deal with. You saw how he dealt with Aurelio in that one-to-one combat.
And I will point out that we also haven't even seen Resmir or Thrillum. So perhaps they were both here the entire time of the attack.
Maybe.
And they're still here, and they always have been. So Sirenrath is already here, and he patted me on the back for being such a fantastic priest to the kobolds.
I say to Pedrick, what are your thoughts on this? Should we just go back to the keep and bring as many people, try and rescue all these people and deal with what's going on here? Do you think it's possible to sneak? What's your opinion? Did I break up again?
No. Pedrick?
It is my experience that bones don't carry messages well. However, where there's a will, there's a way. If these kobolds view you as a deity, we could perhaps go in the guise as your prisoner to spring the prisoners within the camp, but that's no guarantee we'll be able to fight our way out.
That's true.
It's indeed true.
Yeah.
I mean, getting us all in there is no problem, but getting out again and getting out with our lives, as well as the lives of 6 prisoners. Now, you see, don't forget, we've just had a long rest. We went to rest early evening. It is currently very early morning. Quickly, out of character DM, how long will it take to get back to the keep?
To get back to the keep, it's about took you a couple of hours to get here.
Right, okay, so it's currently 3 a.m. in the morning, which is what we said at the end of the last episode, right? We wake up around about 3 a.m.
Yep, so you went to bed and it has to be 8 hours for a long rest.
Yep.
So it is, it's about 3 in the morning, so it's still dark.
Yeah.
It's still dark, and it's still not been 24 hours since the raid.
Yep.
So, well, it's 1 hour short of 24 hours since the raid.
Okay.
You see, what I would put forward to the group is it's currently 3 a.m. We could get back to the keep at 5 a.m. We can rouse up the troops. We could be back here by the time these cultists are only just about waking up for their breakfast.
I do like that.
And we can have a full-on assault of this camp with the help of the greenest guards or whoever they can rally up. And they would be completely unaware of the attack until we get closer to this camp, at which time they'll only have that kind of
you
time.
would remember, just to let you know, Rogar, you would remember that the majority of the fighters locally pressed militia.
Yep.
So they were not professional soldiers.
No, they weren't. No.
Mainly farm boys, people who could pick up a spear.
Yep.
The only professional soldiers you would have seen were Governor Nighthill himself, and he was injured, remember?
Right.
Yep. Also Escobar and Thorgrim.
Yep. Okay.
Who is a cleric.
But, I mean, they managed to keep themselves... and Miniacs from the corner just said they would be trapped inside the Mesa too, and that's true. We could hem them in, and we would have, we'd fight through the kobolds, which are easy enough, and then the cultists at the rear of the camp. They've kind of got themselves. They might think that they're protected from the rear, but that also means that they're kind of hemmed in.
True, although dealing with about 100 kobolds best, because they're not too bad in a small group, but a lot of them are drakes. That's a lot to deal with.
That's true.
People who aren't professional for keep. The only other thing I could think of was perhaps if you, Rogar, were able to go over to 6 prisoners were mining that area, there was some sort of message that those prisoners were being moved to a new location to make them work harder, or do something to help out with the cause of the cult, the Tiamat. but we actually sneak them back to the keep.
Well, Vistra, I mean, you could do
I
do another scout or whatever.
To see that sort of thing, maybe. But that was the only other thing I could think of in a way where we leave. That was the only other thought that I had.
That is I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to metagame as a DM, but I mean, you don't know what's happening at the moment. It's been 8 hours since you were outside, so yeah, I mean, you could easily take a step outside, have a look and see what it's like, and then make your decision from there. I mean, there's you've laid a number of good options on the table, and you can always come back to the cave if you want to as well. Another place to put the cave will not go anywhere.
Run away!
This is the save point in Final Fantasy. Floating part.
What were you about to say, Pedrick?
Come back here.
So maybe we should try to narrow our focus on exactly what goal we want to achieve if we go into the camp. Is it to just simply free the prisoners, or are we going to go after and try to do some damage to their leadership?
Well, the way I see it, right? If we're here to do what we're getting paid to do, to fulfill the contract 100%, we would need to find a leader to find out why they attacked and what they're doing next.
Could you maybe have tea with Simon? Have a little bro moment together?
Rogart literally starts smoking at the very thought of it.
Bishop couldn't resist herself.
Scale the tea.
Because you seem to have gotten a bit, maybe not trust, but you definitely seem to appreciate the way you motivated with your meditation prayers. So that could be somehow useful in our cause. And don't forget, yes, it's difficult to do something that goes against your very nature. I mean, you Dragonborn, you are not part of the cult of Tiamat. You are not a preacher to Tiamat. But unfortunately, we could use that to our advantage. So if it works in our course, kill them all or get rid of them, stop them from destroying the town and all my lovely treasures that I could have to myself, then that would be fantastic.
Survival. I did it. Not as a way of making the most of a situation.
Yep. But you have
I've missed exactly what your response then. I missed the entire response.
Whose response? Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, Vicious sort of looks sadly at the floor.
I think, in my opinion, we may not have done enough to get the entire pay, but the three of us, I don't think we can get 6 prisoners out of that camp. I think we may not have done enough to get the entire pay, but if we go back to Night Hill now, we tell him where the camp is exactly, including the layout of the camp. All three of us are able to get around the camp and get a good layout of the camp and the way that it's divided. We can tell them exactly how many people there are here. And we can also tell them exactly who is in charge and the race of 2 of them. I can also tell them that they had a spy for the last 3 months with them.
Yes, that would be good to get them.
The only thing we don't know is why they're attacking and what's happening next. It's the only thing we don't know. And it's what they sent us.
I mean, would you like me to go out there and just have a look, see how they are acting? I mean, they seem to be quite and celebrating maybe they're, sort of drunkenly sleeping, which means that they might be to hear us approaching or something.
I would say, and I'll ping on the map just for visual aid, I would say, before we leave back for the keep, if you wanted to stealth your way over to here among this top plateau and just have a look around, you've already seen in the camp, and I'm sure if there was a vast major increase in the number of people in the camp overnight, you should be able to tell. See if those numbers have changed. See if they are at all anywhere near organized, or if they're sleeping. We can go back and we might be able to and get back to the keep. And from the corner, Hal says, "Are you not concerned the halfling might know you left and poisoned everybody?" Just saying. Well, I certainly don't think I would have poisoned. I don't think she would have thought I would have poisoned anyone. The halfling may think that I'm missing. I mean, as much as they appreciated that I was a dragonborn and welcomed me, I haven't seen many dragonborn, so my presence may be missed. And
well, you knew that we were leaving, so to be honest, I don't.
Cyanrath.
We could also, while we're overlooking, see if there's an opportunity for a snatch and grab.
Yes.
Wait.
Mobile intelligence.
Wait a minute. That's a good idea.
Well, they're sleeping. Sleeping.
Wait a minute, because the prisoners were here, right, GM?
That's correct, yes. There are some there. There's also a stake outside the hut, and that's where Leo was tied to. He was chained to the stake.
How? I know that this map is not to scale, but how close to the cliff edge are the prisoners being held? Are we talking
close.
They're pretty much at the base of the cliff?
They're very close to the cliff. Yeah, that's the base. You could. So there are. So these are the houses that belong to that the slaves used for their shelter.
If you're pinging it, it's not showing up.
Literally get to an overhang. You can literally. Pinging. Oh, am I not pinging? Oh, that's because I'm on the GM's thing. I apologize.
Yep.
Okay, so over here, yeah. So is that better?
Yeah.
Yep.
So those are the huts for the prisoners, and there is just in front of the huts there is a stake, and that's where Leosin is tied to. That you might correctly identify him as Leosin. He's chained. Well, it's not tied. He's chained to it. And if you see, like, the actual overhang itself is actually very close. You could look down into the prisoner's side of the camp from where you are up there. You could also possibly look for more handholds you could go across, or more good areas to climb, and see if you can possibly get down that way. That's definitely possible.
Okay. So we've got a couple of options while I scout.
And also, GM, in terms of, let's just say for argument's sake, I don't know what you have planned for us, but let's just say there are no enemy people on the top of this plateau, but I do know that there is a watchtower over here that they could possibly have line of sight to the top of this plateau.
Yeah, as I mentioned to Vistra, there is that will aid in moving across there. It's just the map, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's what I was just asking. Whether
boulders that you can actually use to get around. Yeah. It's definitely would help you if you were sneaking around. And also, as I said, remember the camp is not at its highest alert at the moment because they're still celebrating their raid on Greenest.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
To put it bluntly, especially here with sneaking, I know I can as well as I could, but obviously with Hal is not feeling well. But Pedrick, Pedrick, do you have any sneaking skills if you were to come with me, perhaps?
Well, he wears scale mail. He'll be at a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, I look at Pedrick, and I look at me, and I look at Pedrick again, and I'm like, we're not sneaking anywhere.
Looks like I'm on my own again.
What I would suggest, okay, why don't we just put it this way, Vistra? Before we leave, oh, sorry, Pedrick, you were say something.
I'm sorry. I said I may be blessed upon the gods, but I cannot defy gravity.
Why don't we put it this way? Before we head back to the keep, if you head over, instead of coming to here, Vistra, if you come over to here and have two things in mind. First of all, if the camp has swelled in numbers at all. And second of all, do you think, and see if you can find as many different ways that we could possibly extract the prisoners from the base of the cliff up the cliff without having to go through the camp? If you can come back with a plan of how we could possibly do that without entering the camp, we can attempt to save the prisoners. If not, we need to go back to the keep and plan for an assault.
Okay, so see if the camp has got more people and different ways. Main area of the.
And then possibly if there's if you happen to notice anything else of interest while you're there that may aid us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Vistra, it's down to you.
All right. So Vistra sort of gives so here we go again, and
And I give you a pat. I give you a pat. Good luck. May your feet be silent.
It's a pity that you're not the bard.
I could have done. Yeah, I could have done, but unfortunately I can't.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate that. If I somehow die before I return, it was nice knowing you very shortly.
For the last less than 24 hours thus far.
Less than 24 hours, yeah. So okay, so Vistra heads out. She doesn't go straight out. She peers very slightly her head out through what's hiding the cave. Is there anything around?
Okay, so as you poke your head out of the cave, you sort of poke your head and you sort of start looking through the brush that's covering the cave, and sort of you sort of like push yourself out sort of towards where Pedrick sort of climbed up. And as you're looking down, you aren't actually able to look down into the camp from where you currently are. You can hear noises coming from the camp, so there's still some people around and walking around in the camp at this time. The noises don't seem to be as busy as they were earlier, so there's a chance that you can take from that what you will. There doesn't be quite as much noise as there was earlier in the day. However, you can see, as you're looking down from where you are, that there are several sort of dark shapes sort of shuffling tiredly towards camp.
And she's still in the mouth of the cave, correct?
Yes, she sort of poked her head out, and she can sort of down, sort of like she's sort of able to sort of see down there and sort of like see into the passageway where the where sort of the entrance to the camp is. This sort of horseshoe shape. Sort of
I'm gonna move up.
Yeah, she'll sort of see down there.
Pedrick will move up just a little behind her, sprinkle a little holy water at her, and cast Bless, and then retreat back into the cave.
Oh my goodness, what just happened?
What is Bless? How?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that.
What's the duration?
How long does Bless last?
Let me go back and look at the duration. Cast through 30 feet, bless 3 creatures, 1 die, 4 saving throws. You can.
What's the duration?
It's only 1 minute. Disregard.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're not using it now. Okay.
Nope.
You thought about doing it.
I'm just going to try to help those saving throws.
Oh, it can be useful for things like guidance and stuff. Can be useful for that sort of thing, but it's very short. The time there, what happens?
Can I see if these dark shapes are the same in size and darkness from the shadows, or are they all different?
Well, you have dark vision,
yeah.
So you can see better in the dark than puny humans and dragonkin. But sort of looking down into the camp, I mean, you can you can just see that they are humanoid shaped, about medium size. They seem to be, so their outline is kind of blurred by the darkness, but they're moving like they have 4 limbs. They're just sort of, they look very indistinguishable from the cultists you've been fighting.
Okay.
Just sort of like, but a bit more blurry around the edges. They're quite far away, and it is still dark.
Could you ping roughly where I'm seeing them from where my position is?
Where's your cat? Where is your?
I'm right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you can sort of see them sort of shuffling up,
Okay.
sort of towards the camp from sort of that direction.
So they're on the lower part, and I'm on the top.
You realize these are probably late stragglers, a bit like the people that you fought earlier. You fought the people and the kobolds who were eating their hens when you guys attacked them and killed them all and chased the kobolds off. These are probably most likely stragglers who are sort of making their way into the camp late at night.
Okay, so they're around there. All right. So
just before she leaves, I whisper, "Is there many of them?"
Vistra is going to go out. She can move herself. No. Okay. So she's gone out. From her history of how she got into the cave, is there up back to the very top?
Yes, you can just climb back. The wall of this sort of plateau is really not that difficult to climb. There's a lot of craggly bits sort of sticking out, lots of handholds. It would not be difficult for anyone of any mild athletic ability to climb it at all.
Okay.
Are you climbing it? How are you climbing it?
I would like to climb. Well, I have dark vision, so I should be able to see it quite clearly. So Vistra is just going to try and quietly, sneakily go up it.
Okay, so in that case, can you take a stealth check, please?
No.
Let's roll of the night. Here we go.
All right.
This will set the tone for the entire evening, so no pressure.
No pressure. I pressed it.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. You climb it. You sort of reach up very carefully and start to climb your way up the. It's not very high because you didn't have to go down very, but just to get up to the top. But you're very careful about your handholds. Once or twice you sort of reach out, and it feels like the rock's a little bit loose. And if this wouldn't normally be a problem, but you don't want it sort of to fall and clatter down below. So you reach away from it and you sort of reach towards a more more solid handhold, and you sort of bring your way up to the top of this sort of horseshoe plateau. That is, I say plateau an awful lot at the moment. Sorry, the top of this horseshoe sort of mountainous area, this hill that you're sort of on right now. So you're at the top, and around you, there are a number of sort of boulders and some brush, between 4 and 6 feet high. It's quite difficult. It might be quite difficult to move through, but be careful. But you can see it'll give you quite a lot of cover. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Are you so? Vistra.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just writing. Okay, so Vistra is going to go to the first boulder that she can see.
Well, so it's just there's lots of boulders.
She's going to go about there.
Okay. There's no hue and cry. No one seems to notice.
Is there anything that I can see from at the top here where I've just gone? Is there a crack or something that I can see through between the different boulders and shrubbery and stuff that's around?
Okay, so can you perception check for me, please?
Sure. Yeah.
What is your passive perception, by the way?
I believe. Let me just double check. I think it's 11.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
one
it's
more
11.
than me.
Yeah,
So.
11.
Okay, so where you are, you can see several things. Well, you can notice several things. You just see different senses, all including in perception. Okay, so you can see that the guard's tower that is sort of reaching on the top. You can see that there is a light in the guard's tower. However, you cannot see the face of a guard or anybody sort of poking his head over the edge. Okay, you might reason that maybe the guards are playing cards or relaxing or something up there, not really doing their job. You can't see any faces or any guards who seem to be keeping a watch out there at the moment. Also, from where you are, you can hear you can hear the sounds of some revelry. There are still some people awake in the camp. You hear sort of like a few raised voices, the clanking of glasses, the sort of like a few cheers and some boos and some moans. One thing you do hear, however, is you hear from quite far away, you hear almost like the sound of weeping, people crying.
Okay. Huh.
It appears to be coming from your destination.
Okay. Are we going to take minutes? Okay. All right. So this she's going to move just a little bit by little bit. She's going to move again.
Okay. Are you still moving stealthily?
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine. You passed your stealth check, so you're moving stealthily, and you creep through the boulders. All right, so you creep through the boulders and you make your way through brush. It's quite slow going. It's about twice as long as you'd normally take across this distance. I mean, that being said, it's only been about 5 minutes or so since you got up to the top of the plateau. It's just, this is not easy. So you have to watch your feet. You have to sort of push your way through some of this thick brush, none of which is visible on the map. I apologize, but it is there. It's there. So this is kind of like, this is quite difficult terrain for you to navigate. All right. Just as you reach the edge of the edge of the cliff to look down into the prisoners' camp, you hear a heart-rending wail. So you hear a heart-rending wail that seems to be coming from just below you in the prisoners' camp.
Can I approach this carefully and sort of see what I can see?
Okay. As you look over into the camp, you notice several things. You see that the prisoners all the prisoners are currently shackled they're basically shackled to another post, just like where Leosen is shackled, but they're all sort of shackled by one chain onto this post. You also see that 5 of the prisoners are sort of all standing on their feet, and they seem to be sort of looking in muted horror at the ground, where there is a young man wearing another one of the prisoners, and he's on the floor. He seems to be sort of gagging and gasping and sort of holding his throat. And above him there is a quite well equipped, well dressed looking cultist. He appears to have just stabbed the young man in the throat. Did you were you in the wait a minute. You were working in, did you spend any time working the first aid hut?
I did, yes.
Okay, all right. Could you please roll a insight check for me, please?
Mm-hmm. 11.
Okay. You would so looking at this boy clutching his throat on the ground, holding his throat, trying to sort of stem the blood. and you notice it's weird. You sort of go cold over, and you're being more analytical, as there's nothing you can do about the situation below. And you recognize that one of this boy looks very similar to one of the men that was being treated in the hut that you helped the matron to treat. The man that you helped was more elderly, a bit thicker in the waist, longer jowls, balding on top. There's a clear family.
Okay. That's not good. Okay, let's just going to continue. Also, does she see looking down any handholds or hidden cave entrances from where she is, looking down at the wall area?
Okay, so you looking down at the wall area. There are any incredibly obvious handholds. However, you can see that there is a large boulder, very large boulder. You know, this is huge, must weigh several tons. And it appears to be firmly sort of like grounded to the earth, surrounded by several other boulders, smaller boulders, and it's actually quite close to the edge of where the prisoners are. It is a possible spot to secure maybe another means of ascent.
Okay. Cool, lots of information. Okay. She's going to carry on then, and she's going to go to about whereabouts she was last time when she went towards the watchtower.
Okay.
Simply.
You're sort of the hut, the big hut that Weird Hal mentioned to you. All right. So as you sort of get close, you start hearing this weird sound. It's a thumping noise, and you hear these sort of like these other sounds, almost like wheezing. You hear these large. It's almost like someone punching into a bag of sand. Okay, or some large thumps. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it appears to be coming from the direction of the hut, which is directly to your west, the west of you.
So, guessing that main one then, the one that I saw Cyrus go towards with the four drakes around it.
Before I say anything else, I promise you, PG screen. I'm keeping everything fresh here. It's all good.
Alright, so she looks. She also goes to the edge there carefully, and she again looks down around the wall area to see if there's anything.
Okay, so as you sort of look over the edge, first of all, I'd like you to take a stealth check.
Ooh, shit, doing well.
That was
Which
sleight
is a
of hand.
sleight of hand check.
No.
Can you do me a stealth check?
You failed to pickpocket the cliff.
No, I did, didn't I?
Oh, damn!
Okay, you are a ghost. You steal up the edge. Even when nothing notices you in this. And as you look over the edge, you see there's another stake that seems to have been driven into the ground, and sort of chained to this stake. And you get a flash of insight now, something you didn't realize before. When you were looking down at the prisoners, you didn't see Leosin tied to his pole that he'd been tied to before. Instead, now he is actually tied to this stake, which is outside the main sort of this large, lavish, beautifully decorated tent. Okay. Sort of not tent, it's like a shelter, built of sort of bone and hide and silk. As you look down, you notice two things. First of all, Cyanrath is standing below you. Okay. Also, so is Leosin, and Cyanrath is mercilessly beating Leosin. Leosin his hands are chained and they're tied to this pole, and he is having the life beaten out of him, and you can hear this growling half dragon. He keeps shouting, "Talk! Tell us what you know!" And he's punching and punching mercilessly. That wheezing sound is the sort of these little gasps that Leosin is giving out. Leosin is not saying anything. He is staying stoic. But you can see from where you are that there are large bloody welts starting to appear on his body. His face is one large bruise. Okay, and he seems to be choking over the blood that is spilling over his lips.
All happening in this camp tonight. Vistra thinks to herself. Okay, so Vistra again is going to continue to go a bit closer to the watchtower just to see if there is anything. Instantly, she's going to move a bit closer. She'll risk it up there.
Okay. The only thing that you notice is, first of all, that there is a guard standing at the base of the watchtower. He is not looking towards, but he is like before. He is looking out across the camp. Mm-hmm. He was obscured from view by the base of the watchtower, but he is currently looking out there. You're still moving incredibly stealthily at the moment. However, any closer, you're likely to raise suspicions. Looking down, if you're looking down again into the camp, another thing you notice is that by looking into the camp, you notice that a lot of people seem to be absent, particularly the humans. Still seem to be absent from this area. They must be in their huts, or maybe they are out carousing elsewhere. But this part of the camp appears to be quite quiet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and can I hear anything coming from the top of the watch? Like the
yes, you hear. Yeah. So you can hear this. So you sit there and listen, and you can hear above sort of the din and thumps of Cyanrath. You can still hear him beating Leosin mercilessly. You then, you look up and listening. You hear sort of the rattling of dice and the clinking of sort of porcelain wine jugs. You can hear laughter, and it's quite it seems like they're having a bit of a party up there, and the guard below is probably the one who got left with driving them home. Basically, he's the guy who's he's the one who's keeping an eye on his alcohol content.
Alright, she's going to continue, but not to go closer to the tower. She's going to move back, and she's going to carry on going around.
Okay, by now it's been about 25 minutes since you left. First thing you notice, first of all, the thumping noise has stopped. Okay, and secondly, the other thing at the top here, getting closer towards this side, there appears to be a number of huts, and around them are a large number of kobolds.
Oh.
They seem to be awake and quite active.
Is that up here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, but they're on the ground part, not where I am.
No, they're up where you are.
Oh shit. Okay. She's gonna move back. She's gonna move back stealthily. How many times can I move before you?
You can move back stealthily. You haven't got close. Look.
Okay, so like she can literally go back here.
Okay. As you cross past this part, can you roll a perception check for me, please?
Yeah, I'll just jump back there. So, was it perception?
Yep. Okay, that's fine. You now, as you pass through there, you notice, first of all, that the guard that was there with the knife is gone, and so is the body of the prisoner. You can see a dark line being dragged off towards a cave that is built into the back of this here. You also notice that Leosin is now hanging from his chains. He has been returned the chain. Roll me and so what is your passive perception? It's 11. Okay. One also thing you would notice, being a thief, being someone of sort of the black persuasion, you would notice two things. First of all, that the prisoners are all chained by a single chain.
You already said that. I know.
Yeah. I'm just reiterating.
Yeah, that's right.
And secondly, that the locks look pickable.
Yeah, okay. Nicest one chain looks pickable. Okay. Right. Can I see from where I am somehow moving or breathing or?
Yeah, he appears to be. It's ragged breath. So he's holding himself up against these chains again. You know, he's sort of almost like kind of like crucifixion in a way. He's kind of being held back, and his arms are held behind him, and he's being held up in a very uncomfortable position to this set of chains. And he appears to be alive, but he's definitely not in a good state.
GM, is it possible, because I have 2 healing potions, is it possible that with my mage hand cantrip I could send my, because I don't know the max size, I believe it's 60 feet in my mage hand.
It is, yes.
And help somehow get Leosin to drink the healing potion.
Let me just check. I need to see how high the. No.
The hand vanishes. Is it ever more than 30 feet away from you?
30 feet.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able, because you're at the highest point of the toe, and that's 100 feet.
Okay.
The cliff is 100 feet tall.
I noticed that there's one chain and a lot. Do you think?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Vistra. Oh, tempting, but no, she's going to go into the other side.
While this is all happening, you are all sitting in the cave getting to know each other. So let's switch, while Vistra is making her way back, let's switch over to Pedrick and Rogar. Both sitting in stoic silence.
Yeah, it's not it's a manly silence cave.
It's a manly shuffle.
So, do you like birds?
Don't those scales itch?
You're a cleric. That's cool.
It would seem to me that those scales would itch. So, tell me about your friend that you have sent out to recon for us.
Well,
what are her innate skills?
from what I can gather, we've only known her for less than 24 hours. She's a sneaky one, that's for sure. Yeah, she can hide. Pretty good with a bow.
Well.
Pretty good with a bow. Doesn't like water. Something which I can relate to.
So we shouldn't let her at our back. Sneaky and good with a bow.
Yeah.
I will remember that.
Yeah. She's looking for cash. That's definitely something she's out for.
Ah, so she would be a borrower of pretty things.
I reckon. Little trinkets.
I will keep that in mind as well. However, I don't carry anything of value. values for the petty. So I still think we should just go in there and smash heads, but we'll wait to see what this recon comes back with.
I think it would be most prudent. It's we can take on kobolds. We've done plenty of kobolds at a time. You know, we can take on.
You've taken on about. I think the maximum you've ever had was.
How many? Sorry.
I think the maximum you ever fought at once was kobolds.
That number keeps getting
go.
10. There we go. 10.
10.
10 kobolds.
10's a good number.
Yeah.
We're talking about 100 kobolds.
Yeah, we have 10 times that many. And the cultists we can take on, they're pretty, you know, I mean, some of them can give us a bit of a hard time, but the cultists at handfuls at a time, we've been able to take them on, but...
Even a stormtrooper can hit if there's enough.
Exactly. You know, I don't think an assault here would be prudent. It's, we would be overwhelmed very quickly, for sure. And
they do have the numbers, I will concede that.
And the kobolds seem to be much better when they're in numbers.
Yeah, kobolds work well in packs, you would know that.
Yeah. So, I think our best course of action would be to try and extract the prisoners without being seen. Although, how to do that when only one of our team can be sneaky. But if we can get the prisoners,
is not my forte.
No, exactly. But I mean, if we can get the prisoners out without being seen, we can at least go back to the camp, back to the keep with 50% of what we've been sent here for. And I'm sure that, you know, Governor Nighthell can be you know, he's a good chap. He'll appreciate what we've got, and I think he'll understand that we weren't pushing it as much. I mean, the people in Greenest never even heard of us until we arrived after the dragon attack. So,
I'm fortunate indeed to have found you.
Yeah,
you weren't easy to track. Track is the wrong word. Stumble upon.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, if you were looking, you were specifically looking for us and couldn't find us, or had a difficulty. So, I mean, the chances of us being stumbled upon are pretty good. Pretty low. That's the right word.
Not sneaky, but I'm the opposite. I'm loud and a very good distraction. So.
Oh yes.
We can keep that into mind.
Yeah, you and me. Yeah, I think you and me are going to get on just fine.
We're going to do just fine.
I have the same attitude. Most of what we do, you know, I'll go out in front. I don't mind taking a few hits, and well, that's when they can hit me in the first place. and the other two, you know, Howell over here, he's pretty nifty when he wants to be.
Rolling around.
I'm not sure what he ate, but evidently doesn't have the constitution for it.
He should have cooked it more.
Mushrooms.
The goddess smiles upon those who take precaution. This is for sure.
Am I real? Is the universe real? What's up with my hands?
Visha gets to the edge and she carefully comes back down to the cave entrance.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Go ahead. You're in.
And before she enters, she goes, "It's me, it's Vistra." And then she enters. Wow,
Vistra,
she says to them. Okay, there's a lot going on. And definitely not good. Alright, so I'll try and summarize.
I've been taking notes, don't worry. I've been taking notes in case you miss something.
I've got like 500 pages now. Okay, so, alright, so when I first went outside, it wasn't very busy, but there was some like medium-sized humanoid shapes, dark shapes that were entering the camp, jagglers. As I climbed up the cave, at the top, there's still some big boulders there, and I think that's perfect. I noticed that there's a light at the tower at the top, but I couldn't see anyone But I didn't know what they were up. I could hear from the general camp area that I could hear some cheerfulness, that there were still some people up clinking glasses and stuff. But far away from where I was at the top, where I was just before I started going over, I could hear some crying from the distance that seemed to be coming from where the prisoners were held. When I got to the prisoners' camp, and it seemed like a cultist had basically taken a knife and slit the throat of one of the prisoners. I also noticed that the other 5 prisoners there are all chained up by one chain. It looks very, and I do have lockpicking tools. However, I didn't.
You need to change the bed before I go to bed tonight.
I'm sorry.
I also noticed that Leosin wasn't there with them where they were being chained up, and they were chained where with did I know with how? Yeah, with how went. Look, so Leosin wasn't there. As I carried on going across, I could see a really massive edge of where the prisoners were that could be used as some way of ascending.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, it could be. I said, you realize it could be useful for possible other means.
Okay. And then I went over, and I looked over, and I could start, as I was moving across, I could, like thumping and stuff, coming from the main shelter, the main tent that I'd seen Siren Wrath go towards before I found the cave. This time I could hear this thumping noise, and as I looked over the wall, I could see Leosin tied to another stake behind the tent, and Siren Wrath was there, and luckily he didn't spot me, but he was punching the living shit out of Leosin, and he kept mumbling in common, saying, "Tell me what you know, tell me what." Wasn't budging at all, and he didn't say anything. So but he was pummeled a lot. I carried on. Still one guard at the back and across the camp, and also at the top where the light was coming from, I could hear sounds of dice rolls, sort of like partiness, cheerfulness going on. I also carried on going around the other part of the side and came across huts at the top with kobolds that were active. So that's not great. As I started to head back towards you guys, I noticed that the thumping had stopped, and as I got past the prisoners, Leosin had been returned, and he is in bad shape. Alright, he's in bad shape. Also, the cultist that had shanked the young man, the one of the 6 prisoners, was missing, and there seems to be a dark trail, which I'm assuming is blood, that actually went towards like a secret cave-like entrance behind the main shelter, where, like, I'm guessing nearby, where Siren Wrath was beating the hell out of Leosin. And as far as I know, anything else? One second, let me check my notes.
That sounds about right.
So that's where I got up to, guys. That was my So what do you think?
Of course,
I'd really like to go and help the Leosin.
Absolutely.
I've got
It's
how
interesting.
bad he is. He's ragged breathing, basically got massive, welts and God knows all over his face. Because Siren Wrath did not take it easy on him.
Well, don't forget you got a cleric in the arm.
Yes. But I will say, actually, it might be a good thing that that Leosin's just had the snot kicked out of him. He wasn't particularly willing to leave with Hal earlier on because he thought he would be useful where he was, but I mean, now that he's had 10 shades knocked out of him. Maybe we can convince him he's no use to anyone if he perishes here. So he may be a bit more willing.
Taking inspiration.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was wondering if anyone remember that.
He may be more forthcoming about leaving now that he's closer to death than he was earlier. Those boulders interest me. Those boulders you mentioned interest me. Now, of course, while you were looking, did you happen to see how tall the cliffs were?
The cliff that I'm on is about 100 feet to the bottom.
And the boulder, how much distance does that take off of the overall drop?
The boulder is massive. The boulder is.
It's not. It's almost at the very edge. So it's like almost like the edge. It wouldn't take anything really off.
How tall is it?
It's quite a large boulder, but it's quite a large.
I think it's heavier than.
Yeah, it's more about the weight. It's a very heavy.
It looks like it weighs tons.
But is this on the level with the? Is this on the level of the top, or is it on the level with the camp?
No, it's on the level of me.
It's on the top.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on the top,
okay.
it's on the same as me.
So somewhere to hide, but not necessarily. You can't use it to climb up, right?
Well, we could use rope and tie it around the boulder.
I mean, two of us would have to use our ropes. And we'd only just reach the bottom. 100 feet.
But that could be. Yeah, I mean, I also know, which I'll tell you guys, so you know in future if you ever need it. But around.
I'm sorry, what?
Hang on. I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Yep,
there are some handholds that you can climb up to where I was. So you can climb up where the cave entrance is, climb up to the top of the cliff, or you can go over there where and you can climb down and go to that area. Now I was kind of thinking that all the prisoners are connected to one chain, to one stake. Leosin is tied to another. I don't know about Leosin because he was brought back as I went past, but the prisoners' locks look pickable. So.
No, Leosin has exactly the same lock.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they're all pickable. So, is there a way that we could I go down, unlock them, I give you my rope, you tie it around that big boulder, we get them up.
If we could use two ropes, we could gather limbs and create a rope, a rope ladder to lower down, because some of these prisoners may be too injured to simply climb a rope.
Yeah.
GM, a little bit of a mechanics question. With my strength, how many people can I carry?
What's your strength?
20.
I'd say you could probably carry one. When it's up.
You cut out just as you were telling me the answer.
Sorry, I say you could probably carry one additional person. So you could have someone on your back as you went up.
Just one person that I can get. I can carry one person.
Yeah, because you are wearing heavy armor. So and you'll have your shield and your strap.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. Two people will probably be too much.
Right. Okay.
They're all adults.
Yeah. That's why I was asking, basically.
Oh, I would like to say to Rogar and Petrin, also the poor lad, the victim out of the prisoners that got killed by being slit in throats. He looked so familiar to an elderly man that I was keep. So I'm going to have to look for him when we return, and unfortunately give him some very bad news, I believe.
I fear the greenest probably has a bit more bad news to dish out before this is over.
Yeah. By the way, Rogue Gamers asked if we are still.
Okay, we're still playing it, right? Yeah. But we're not at where it's. I'm not going to yet.
Well, it's yeah.
All right. So in that
I'll have to
case,
sort out the.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick 10-minute breaks.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back and come up with a.
Sounds
Alright.
good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And we go to the loo again, so that's all good with me.
All right. There we go. Here we go.
All right, are we on?
We're back.
Excellent. Hi guys, welcome back. We are continuing with our Horde of the Dragon Queen episode 8. Our intrepid adventurers have done a bit more exploration of the camp after their long rest and have found that the camp is in a bit of a state of disarray. There seem to be parties going on, other people are snoozing, and a few stragglers are making their way into the camp. Even the guards seem to be having a good time, a bit of a party up in one of the watchtowers. However, there have been some terrible things that have happened. We have had Leosin the monk being beaten mercilessly by Cyanrath and now rechained back up with the prisoners. One of the prisoners has died, has been killed by a rather well-dressed and well-equipped looking cultist, and his body dragged off God knows where. And Vistra has come back and given this information to her gang. Unfortunately, Vistra, Missy T has to go to sleep now because she has a meeting in the morning. And so I will just be taking over a little bit on my side. I will try and play with Vistra as Vistra. But of course, she will not be taking a lead role. It's down to you guys to kind of decide how to utilize her skill set. Okay? All right. So we also have back now joining us, we have Rogue Gamer has joined us. Rogue Gamer, you didn't get to do an introduction at the beginning, so could you just do a little introduction of yourself and your character?
Sure. Quickly, Rogue Gamer. I'm a gamer. I play D&D almost constantly. Just got from another session here. So, yeah, I'm playing Aurelio, a Way of Death monk that apparently just comes around and kills things.
Okay, so why did you join us here, Aurelio? Because you didn't come. What's happened to sort of make you join the group? Because you weren't here last time. You were recovering from your fight with Cyanrath.
Yeah, I was probably just recovering a bit longer, taking up some meditation time, and then I joined the group after that, following their tracks or just knowing where they should be going and then trying to find them.
Okay. All right. So, Rogar, Vistra, and our newest member Pedrick, you're still discussing what Vistra's just discovered as Aurelio makes his way up the cavern, up the wall of the hill, and makes his way up to you, of the sort of the sheer wall of the hill, and makes his way up to you, and has pulled himself into the hidden alcove.
Pedrick, please. This is Aurelio. Aurelio, Pedrick, who's joined us today.
Pleasure to meet you. Well met.
It's good that we have assistance. It took me longer to find you than I thought. What's the situation?
Prisoners. Trying to rescue some prisoners. If we can do so without being detected would be helpful. There are 5 of them that we now need to collect. Well, 6 in total. As well as was he your friend? Leosin, was he one of your friends?
Yes, I know him from before. So you say you found him?
Yeah, he's not in a very good shape though.
Vistra pipes up. He saved my life too.
Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately, he has just received the business end of our good friend Cyanrath.
So he is here too.
Yes. Oh yeah, not just him, but also another half dragon, who is actually the leader of this group of delightful people.
So have you devised any plans?
Not yet. You've joined us just as we're about to pretty much come up with a plan to see if we can get the prisoners out without being seen. We have the entire place is shaped like a horseshoe, and the prisoners are down at the south end
Can
of
I
the camp.
see the camp from this position where we are?
You can see the entrance into the camp, but from where you are, you can't really see into the
Is
camp.
the-
because
is the
otherwise
camp-
would then probably notice.
Yeah, is
your
the camp
area.
is the cave we're in? Has it got a dusty floor? Can I draw in the floor and draw some
I'm
kind
going
of
to say yes.
crude
Yes,
map
okay.
of the floor so that we don't have to go around the entire. Yeah, so I want to draw a crude map of the entire camp of what we all know collectively about what we've got, who's where, and watchtowers and so on. Pretty much, basically draw the Roll20 map on the floor of the cave.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's where. There we go. So I've done that, and then I want to point out there's prisoners are here. We have Leosin down there as well. We have watchtowers here and here. This one seems pretty empty. This one has guards in them, but they're distracted.
How tall is the wall where the prisoners are?
That's 100 feet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think we have enough rope for that.
We have just about enough rope, and our friend Pedrick said perhaps we could find some sticks and possibly create some crude rope ladder that we can get the prisoners to climb up.
I wonder how long that will take.
I see no way to go down into the cavern area or into the camp itself and just not be engaged. Because there's no quick way out. There's 20-foot cliff face all the way around us.
100 foot.
100 foot.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but I don't see myself scaling 20 feet, well, along 100 feet.
I could do 100 feet, I reckon.
I could try and climbing. The thing is,
Mistress already done it several times because she's had to go up into the camp once or twice. So she's done it, yeah.
But
yeah,
she did also come back and tell us that she found some places there were some footholds here to make climbing easier over here. But that is right in the center. This lower section here is full of 100 kobolds at least. And so climbing down there, where it would be easier to climb, would be right slap bang in the middle of Dragonkin territory.
But what if this guard tower here that you say is not occupied was set ablaze?
yes, are the camps like there's tents, torches, stuff like that?
Yeah, there's campfires. There's they're not tents. They're kind of huts built out of hides and
That burns.
bone. So but they get better. So these sort of down here this is sort of like where the kobolds are down here. Sort of areas where the kobolds are, and there's sort of like quite crude huts. These areas up here, these tend to be slightly better made huts. And with some sort of drawings and designs of dragons on them. Yeah, this one is the large, very well decorated, almost like a log house. Like a large, sort of well designed house. It's guarded by large drakes, sort of like large, much bigger than the ones that you fought in Greenest. And sort of down here you have the sort of smaller, shabbier huts where the prisoners sometimes sleep.
Okay, I mean, they're a bunch of kobolds. They're usually dumb, messy, maybe clumsy. Somebody said I think they were doing a party or something. Something is
The
happening.
entire
they're all
camp is
celebrating.
reasonably
People are celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would need a distraction. That's the only way we can get them out of that prison area without trying to be seen. The fire is a good idea, but I don't know how fast the tower will catch fire. I have some oil.
We were quite close to that. When we came in, we got right up to that watchtower. Is it a dry wood watchtower? Is it made of wood?
Yes, it's a wooden watchtower. It's made out of wood, and it's obviously the one here is better is better designed than the one here.
Yep.
This is sort of like more of the sort of just the entrance. This is the one which has been designed to look over the entirety of the camp. Of course, you mean if you it depends which one you want. You're talking about setting fire to. If you're talking
I
about
think we saw
one.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fire idea. I like the fire
Both
idea.
of them are made of. Both of
Well,
them
that
are
could
made
draw the
of-
kobolds out here and give the team here time to get in and out.
So, okay, so can I get this clear in my head then? If we set this on fire, are we planning on using the footholds here to get up and down? Then run around this way to get to the camp, and then get our way back and back up the footholds?
I honestly don't think it's 20 feet.
No, it won't be. No, it's not. It's not to scale. I was just using it to show you.
But
what I
I
was
think
talking
we should
about.
just.
I was thinking entering right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a grappling hook that I got from this from the town. If you have
You
some,
did, yes.
attach it to.
We also got climbing supplies as well, if you remember.
Yeah, we
Well,
can
in
just
that case, then we can attach it to the massive rock that we have up here as
Yes.
an anchor.
attach it there. Drop the rope as soon as the distraction has kicked in.
Yeah.
Then one or two of us drops down,
Yeah.
gets Leosin and everybody else, and then gets out. I remember you trying to wear one of the cultist robes. How many do we have?
You can have mine. We have between us 3, I think. We picked some up on the way.
One.
I'm
so
wearing one.
did-
Vistra's got one, and I think
Weird
Weird Hal
Hal's got
picked
one
another
as
one
well.
up on the
You picked
way.
one up.
Yeah. So we've got
Okay.
3 between us.
So somebody in a robe needs to go to the tower, because that way they don't raise any suspicion. I would suggest I can give them some of my oil so the fire starts faster and burns brighter. Then after that they just get out, just
Okay.
move away in fear or something because
Yeah.
fire. While 2 more, or how many of us can, I don't know, try to sneak over the edge and
Yeah.
get down fast and get back up faster, should go here to get Leosin.
Vistra
And also probably also wear disguises, because I think if you said Cianrat is here, he should probably be able to discern me.
And I can't go into the camp. People know me in that camp now. My cover, I would have to go undercover to be in that camp.
Anybody
as
who's
one
going
of
into
them.
camp,
No,
whether
I
to
meant
start
as one
the
of them.
distraction
I
or
can't
to
hide.
save Leosin, needs to wear a disguise,
Yeah.
because those that are saving Leosin, the disguise is not going to last long,
No.
because the moment they see us getting him up the rope, they're going to discern us, but at least it's going to give us a few moments of like confusion of why a cultist is rappelling down a rope and getting some prisoners free.
Something else Vistra mentioned. I look at Aurelia. What are your lock-picking skills like?
Actually, let me check.
Vistra says, "Well, I can pick locks. I'm adept with
Yeah.
tools of my
That's what
trade."
I'm thinking. We're talking about going over to the watchtower and setting fire to it. We need somebody stealthy to get across there without being seen to set the fire. But we also need somebody who can unpick locks at this end to unpick the locks that are holding people together. I mean, I could probably get through them with my hammer, but that would make noise.
Other characters, sadly, this character doesn't have any lockpicking proficiencies. I have good decks.
But are you stealthy? Can you be the one to set the fire?
Sure.
Yeah. And if we take Vistra to down here, Vistra could at least get down there without being seen and start unlocking locks. And if we could, why don't
Yes, of course.
why don't me and Pedrick borrow your climbing gear, anchor it to this rock down here, and we start getting people out. And then if you can get back to us after setting the fire, you can help us get the prisoners up to this top plateau, and then we'll work out from there.
I can try to get to you, but it's kind of a long distance. I would have more chances of getting just on the top and waiting for people to climb up if I manage to get in time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you set that fire and then head back up to here and then run along here and come and meet us at the top here and help us. By the time that you get here, hopefully we'll have started getting people up to the top of the plateau.
But by the time the fire bursts, you will need to watch for any movement outside of the main cap, and if most of them go or are looking at the fire, you should use that opportunity to get to the Leosin.
Okay. So, is that the plan?
We also know, just one more point of interest, we also know that we have more kobolds at the top of the plateau over here. What do we know how they can get down from this top plateau? Are they going to have to come all the way around here as well? So it's kind of like if we set a fire here and kobolds up here see it, we're likely to have them running in this direction around here and find us before they can actually get down to see what the commotion is down here is.
Well, let's hope that it's gonna take them a long time, or they are scared enough to not.
Well, one thing you would have noticed is you haven't seen any kobolds on your side of the horseshoe. So in the entire time you've been there, you haven't heard or seen any kobolds. Mm-hmm. So they must have another way of getting up and down.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't if we can borrow your climbing gear then, and me and Pedrick and Vistra head over to here. We will start anchoring the climbing gear to the big rock, and we will wait for your signal, which of course is the biggest fire that this realm has ever seen.
Sure. Will the new guy be helping me or staying in this place?
I think Pedrick will come with me, right? And the more
Right,
people we can help save prisoners, and he can help heal anybody that comes up. That
Right, I can heal,
it.
and if nothing else, I can assist with pulling on the rope. As far as stealth, I'm not stealth. So getting over to the tower, I'd probably more well give you away way before you got close to it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will require that mask and disguise.
Yep, and I will gladly take off whatever I had on and hand it over.
Okay, but it's gonna fit.
It'll be enough to. It should be enough to at least at a passing glance, especially in this light. All right. So me and can I? Yeah, we go. I'll borrow the climbing gear as well. And me and Pedro. Should we stealth? Should we try at least to stealth across here? Do we need to do that, GM? If we're heading to here?
Yes, we will need to do some stealth checks. 1 moment.
Oh dear. Right. Well.
We will do our best.
It's the one.
However.
Yeah.
Well, moving across, you have a 3/4 cover.
Yeah.
So you do not normally you would have disadvantage. However,
Yep.
I would normally give you an advantage. So
it's a straight roll.
It cancels out.
Excellent. All right. So if I say to Aurelio, give us 5 minutes head start? Is that kind of, we've done this? Yeah, Vistra's done this a few times. Does she know how long it should take us to get across to where we want to be, which is here?
It would take Vistra's not going to be seen at all while she's moving with you guys. She's just a shadow. Even
I'll
you don't
try
know
it
where
as well.
she is.
Here we go. Let's have a look. See what mine is. Ha!
Okay.
And Pedrick, do you want to do your stealth roll as well? And it's.
Oh, I get 2 of them.
Roll again, please.
There we go. Hey, there we are. Oh no, that's Rogue Gamers. Pedrick, do you want to do it again with just a straight normal roll, not at disadvantage?
Here it goes.
Okay.
5.
All right. So, 2 of you passed. So that's to Vistra and you pass, so that's all right. All right, so you can move slowly. And where did you want to go? What sort of?
We want to go to that rock. We want to be at that rock,
All right.
wherever that rock is.
All right. At the moment, it's not very difficult for you to move around. As I said, this guy here can't even see over to where you are. He can see down into the camp, which is what he's been doing, but he can't actually. I mean, even Vistra didn't see him until she got around to the back. So
okay, excellent. And well, when we're there, we're going to start.
Difficulty is not high for this.
Yeah, we're going to start anchoring the climbing gear and ropes and stuff to make sure that we've got enough rope to get down, and it's going to be locked in place.
Strength check for me, please, just to give me a number to work with.
Oh, what, really? With my strength?
Okay. With your strength, yeah. All right. Thank you. Just so I got a number. All right.
Yeah. So you're
anchoring the. You're anchoring the.
Yeah. So basically, in the time it's taken, because we're walking over, we've asked Aurelio to give us 5-10 minutes head start, just so we can get there, we can start anchoring, we can get prepared, because we're going to be watching for that watchtower to go up ablaze, and checking for the reaction of the camp before we leap into action. So we're going to take this time to really make sure that we give ourselves the best chance possible to get these people up.
All right. So Rogue Gamer, you rolled a 20, so you were able to climb down into the. You were able to climb down into the camp with no issue. So towards sort of the side here, towards the entrance, you come down. Now, you're going to make your way across to the camp. Can you either give me another stealth or a deception check? Okay. All right. Yes. So you make your way towards the tower. You see a few little kobolds sort of like staggering around, almost drunk. Sort of like just singing little kobold songs. But as you go, you don't get picked up by any of them. They don't see you. You're just sort of a blurry shape in the dark to them. And there's a lot of people, sort of stragglers coming in. Still people coming in from the raid. So they don't really pick up on who you are. So you manage to make your way to the base of the tower.
Sure, once there. Are there any torches leaning on the tower or something?
Not really. No, the tower is dark and it's silent. There's nothing there.
Okay. Let me see. Explorer's pack. I probably have some flint and steel in the explorer's pack to light something. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna use.
You have a tinderbox, I believe, in there. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna use the oil flasks that I have and just toss all.
How many of them?
3.
3. Okay.
So I'll just toss them at the base. A few, 2 at the base and 1 at the tower, just like, and light a match, and then walk away.
Okay. The tower starts to burn merrily and then more ferociously. You can hear the sounds of sort of like a bleary comprehension coming from the camp, sort of behind you, and then everybody on the hill. You can sort of start to hear the hue and cry go up, and sort of like that. You can start to see the flames licking into the sky. From down below, you can kind of see some people blearily stumbling from their tents and from their huts, and seem to be heading towards the spectacle.
If that is happening, and they are screaming, I'll probably just give a quick glance in a scared way, and then be afraid and start moving away. I'm still trying to be stealth, but I'm just like, if somebody's looking my direction, I'm moving like afraidly away from it, and I'm just gonna go into the forest.
Just gonna Assassin's Creed it.
Okay. I would like you to take a performance check, please.
Wow, that's gonna be amazing.
Hey.
Damn.
Your fear and panic just completely. Anybody who's looking at you can see that you are terrified, and that you are running away in a blind panic.
Nice one. Now, while we're at the top here, we're looking down. As soon as we kind of see that there's enough distraction to give Vistra a chance, throw the ropes down and get her to get down into the camp to start. We want to say, first thing you do, start picking locks.
Okay, so let me just quickly.
I'm gonna make my way around, and then I have like.
Okay. It'll probably take you roughly about another 10 minutes to reach them because you have to go around, up, and everything. So let me just quickly do.
If I do a move and a dash, I have 90 speed of movement.
Okay, Vistra makes it down. No problem. She doesn't even need the rope. She can just climb down.
Yep.
But she makes her way down and does not disturb anything. She arrives at the bottom of and you directed her to sort of get towards the to try and pick the locks. Yeah.
Yeah, to start unpicking prisoners. I imagine the closest one she'll get to, she'll unpick it, and direct them to the rope, and just say, "We're getting you out now."
Yeah. So she gets. She goes towards the prisoners first, and the prisoners are. They're a bit stunned to see her. But as you said, she sort of like tries to calm them down. She says, "We're here to get you out. We're here from Greece. We've been sent by Governor Nighthill, and I'm going to get you out." And so she takes out her thieves' tools, and she starts to pick the lock. The first lock is picked. It comes off quite easily. No problem there. She pulls the chain out of the lock, and she says, she ushers them, go to the base of the hill. Okay, and she starts heading towards the other one.
Okay.
She's heading over towards Leosin.
So, I mean, the prisoners, can we help them get up at all from up here? Maybe if they can kind of start climbing the rope, can me and Pedrick kind of help pull the rope up? Would you? Yeah. With that in mind, do I think that I would have time to get this prisoner up and throw the rope back down in time for it to be there for when the next prisoner gets there?
Well, at the moment, there's people running around, panic. Not a lot of attention seems to be given to the prisoners at the moment. From where you're saying, you can't really see anything happening around Cyanrath's tent. It's this hullabaloo is sort of something that that maybe the kobolds caused, and it's not his deal to sort it out. He's a warrior, not an administrator.
Yeah.
You see a number of people in purple robes sort of running towards it, but at the moment you have not been discovered. So you have some time yet, probably.
So we'll just start pulling we'll help these prisoners as best we can by pulling up the rope while they're climbing up, just to kind
Between
of
the two
reduce
of us,
the time.
we can probably hoist them pretty quickly.
Yeah, as long as they can hold on.
So, all right. So you haven't explained this plan to Vistra. So so they're starting to climb up. They're trying. She's sort of indicated they have to climb up the rope. Some of them have started to climb up. You can start to pull them up. I will require you to make a strength check for that.
Can I do it at advantage because I've got help?
Are you doing it together?
Yeah, we're both going to be pulling up.
All right, yep, you can assist. Yeah, so I'll allow an advantage.
Excellent.
All right, so yeah, you managed to pull the first of the greenest up. First members of greenest up and get them up, and they're safe. It's taken about 5 minutes to get one of them up. You pull him up to the top. He's it looks like a sort of a farmer. Thank you, and you pull him up, and he's over the top, and you throw it down again.
As soon as he's up, throw it down, and I tell him, just hide behind this big rock. Just get down low and stay still.
Okay, he ducks down. Yes, sir.
Right, and then we wait for the next one.
Okay, make the next check.
Next strength check. 22. Oh.
Good. Yeah, you get him up. okay. You're okay. You start to hear a bit of sort of like shuffling, maybe like some people sort of in these places over here. You can hear the sound of people stirring. Okay, but you managed to get the second person up. That's 5. That's 2 people.
They're stirring. 2 out of 5.
Okay, while you're doing that, Vistra is going to try and pick Leosin's lock.
I want to while we're waiting for the next prisoner. I want to ask Pedrick. Do we want to? We hear stirring.
Yep. She breaks off Leosin's lock. No problem.
Do we want to get down there and kind of back up, or do we just want to just keep doing this, or what do you want to do?
I'm thinking maybe you should go down there for support. I'll pull my crossbow and try to sniper anyone that comes in.
So you managed to get the next person up.
Yeah, that's 3 out of 5.
That's 3 out of 5. But now you'll no longer be doing it with advantage because Pedrick has got his crossbow out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what he says. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna go down the rope myself. And I want to be back up for Vistra. I don't want to leave her down there by herself. Unless hang on, how close is Aurelio?
Well, you spent about 15 minutes. I said it would take him around 10, 15 minutes to get back.
So he's just arriving now.
He will be arriving as you reach the bottom of the. It can take about 5 minutes for you to get down as you reach the bottom of it. Okay, Vistra is currently sort of propping up Leosin, and he's grumbling. He's sort of,
I'm down here now. Yeah.
I can't go. My job's not done yet. And she's like, don't be ridiculous. And she's sort of trying to half drag him towards.
Yeah, I want to step in there, and I want to say to him, and I pull out the choker. I'm going to take the choker off, and I'm going to give it back.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, is it Master Leosin? You have done a tremendous work here, but you are no good to anybody dead. If that half-dragon takes another shot at you, all of the information you've gathered thus far will be lost forever. Leave now while you have valuable information to give.
He sort of looks at you with sort of like half sort of like encrusted eyes. His eyes are sort of like swollen and beaten up, and he's looking and says, "There's so much left to learn, but I understand. Help me."
And yeah, okay, fine. I'll pick him up, put him on my back, and I'm going to climb back up the rope with him on my back.
Okay. Take a strength check, please. Got to climb up.
Nice.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so hand over hand, you get yourself up there. There's still 2 prisoners down at the bottom.
Okay, but you said that Aurelio has arrived as I got to the bottom.
Aurelio has arrived at the bottom. So Aurelio, you saw Rogar sort of put Leosin on his back and then start to climb.
And he's going to see me, obviously, with crossbow out. I'm going to have it trained in this area here to cover anybody coming into their area.
I'll take Leosin, if you don't mind, and take care of him.
Well, I was just going to say, would you want to be down there for fighting and get back up again, or do you want me to get back down there and back up Vistra?
Okay. You start to hear some raised voices from the huts nearby. Shouts of alarm.
I don't think we even have time to get everybody. If you think you can do it, go. But unless, we should just leave while we still have the advantage.
Well, Vistra won't stop until she's saved everyone, so I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to slide back down the pole, slide down the rope.
I'll take care of it.
You could have got someone else up by the time you've done that.
Oh, can I do that? Can I? Is somebody at the bottom of the rope? Oh, all right. Well, I'm not going to slide down and hit somebody down the rope. I'll pull them up as well then.
All right. So, sorry, you've got Leo. Yep, you make it. That's fine. It's a bit slower this time. It's going to take about 10 minutes to get this one up. It's sort of sliding down. Not quite. She's not quite as confident. This peasant, not quite as much arm strength. But you managed to get him up. Okay. The noise. You hear the sound of running footsteps.
Okay. Can we see? Has Vistra unpicked the final prisoner?
Vistra unpicked all the prisoners because there was only one chain of all the prisoners
Okay.
together. So she's already done that. She's currently at the base.
Okay.
She's currently at the base
With the final prisoner.
sort of hiding with the prisoner in the shadows of the camp.
What do we do? Do we bring them up? Bring them both up at once?
Well, Vistra can climb up. Remember?
Oh, yeah, she can.
She
All right.
climb down.
Can I just pull up the final prisoner then?
Yeah. Let's see if Vistra's...
Oh, why did I do a strength save? That's wrong. A strength check. There we go. That's better.
Okay. Yep. So you managed to get back, and just as you do that, Vistra is sort of reaching for the wall, and as she does, she hears a shout, and she turns just in time to duck a blade swung at her head. Okay. There is currently.
I think our cleric was having, or I don't know.
He had a reaction, so yes, you can take a shot. There is going to be a. Here he is. A rather well. This is the. You would. Vistra recognizes this is the one who stabbed the young man from earlier. He's well dressed, well armored, and he appears to be fighting mad. But of course, you have prepared an attack. You'd prepared, hadn't you, Pedrick? So you can take you have a prepared action. You can take a shot at it.
I will take a shot at nothing else, hopefully slow him down.
Oh, what was that?
Just a single throw.
Why does it do that? Let me go back.
You need to go to
You
your...
always shoot with advantage. I take the left number, so it was 20.
Let's try that.
There we go. Well, he would have accepted the 20. But if you, Pedro, if you go to your character sheet, at the top where it says core, bios, and spells, next to it is a gear. If you click that, and roll queries, you want to. It says next to it, always roll advantage. If you go down, if you click on that and go down to advantage toggle, you'll have a new set of tabs above at the top of your player sheet going advantage, normal, and disadvantage.
Enable advanced dice.
No, on your actual player character sheet.
Okay. Under bio.
You've got core, bio, and spells, and next to it is a gear.
Okay, let me. Okay, got the gear.
Yeah, if you click the gear, it'll come up with a menu where you can, just underneath that, you'll find roll queries, and it
see that.
says always roll advantage, and you want
to does.
Click on that and change it to advantage toggle, and then close. Done. And then you can go back to core, so you can bring up your character sheet again. And then at the top of that, above your initiative, you now have advantage, normal, and disadvantage options on your character sheet.
I do.
And then normally you would roll normally. So unless obviously GM tells you otherwise.
All right. Okay. So then
I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Right. And this is where you have to make sure you click on your character first, and then roll initiative. And it's low as usual for me.
Oh, my dice changed color. My bad.
Okay. Okay, so there we go. So the first person to go is going to be the Dragon Claw. He's going to take a swing at Vistra.
Have you done the prepared action yet?
Yeah, I started
Yeah,
to say,
yeah.
did my
Yeah, sorry,
crossbow?
you took the shot. You took the shot. Will we take? I told you I would take the left hand number. I should have actually done that earlier when you rolled a natural one, but I forgot to do that. Then that's my. But okay, so yes, you took a shot at him, so you hit him with the 20. You can roll your damage now for that crossbow shot.
All right.
You should be able to just go up the chat and just click on light crossbow.
It says 1 die 8 piercing. So why did it roll a 20?
Oh, because you need to click on light crossbow underneath the attack.
Yeah, click the
Click on the name light crossbow. That's the damage.
I did, and it still rolled. All right, maybe I need to do it here.
Not in your character sheet, but where you rolled.
Yeah,
On the actual
in the
roll
chat
one.
on
On the
Roll20.
sidebar.
So where you've got the just where you just rolled that. There we go. 4 damage.
There we go. So 4 damage. Okay. He. Yeah. So you see this person running at Vistra and taking a swipe at her. You take a shot, and this crossbow bolt flies down and punches into the meat of his forearm. He sort of reels back, and then determinedly continues forward, wildly lashing out with both scimitars. So the first one. What's Vistra's armor? Let me just know it so I can make it easier. Okay, much easier for me. So the first attack is a hit. And does 5 damage to Vistra. So it lashes out and she gashes along the side of Vistra's chest. It just causes a deep slashing wound. The next one also hits. Doing a further 4 damage. So Vistra has taken several palpable, and she has taken 9 damage. Okay. So Vistra sort of reels back. She's taken 9 damage, so she's on. Okay. Next person to go is Vistra.
Run,
Vistra is going to use her cunning action to disengage.
Yep. Yes.
And start climbing. So she's climbing 25. She's climbed 25 feet.
Excellent.
Next person to go is Aurelio.
I got nothing. Like, my range for the darts is they are 100 feet below me, so
Yeah.
that's completely out of my range, and I don't even have any more oil to toss at them just to try and burn them. So I'm gonna try and get Leostin out of this place.
Okay.
Back to the cave, I think.
No, I mean we're going the fuck out. We're not staying.
The cave's
Well,
pretty
so
well
you.
hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we stay in the cave, they're just gonna find us.
No, they won't. No, not unless they're not. They've got to be lucky to find it. We were lucky to find it.
They're gonna scour this whole place. They see us where we are, so.
Well, remember, you can climb down from the cave over here, so outside of the camp area. That's where you guys climbed up.
We can at least regroup at the cave and then figure out what we're going to do there. At least the cave is a single point where we can all meet.
Right, defensible.
Yeah.
Against 100 kobolds. Yeah.
Hey, it's a bottleneck.
Okay, if there's, yeah, we can still just toss spells and whoever what knows us. So if we go this way, we need to like climb down 100 feet as well.
Yeah, you'll need to climb down, but over here there are some easy handle holes, sort of a very easy way to climb down. You wouldn't even need a ladder. That's why you're able to climb up with no issues over there.
We've also
And
got to
where
get
is
weird
the
help.
city compared to this place?
This direction.
Which?
I just put it. It's here, going in that direction.
Kevin.
On the map. Can people see that?
Nope.
Nope.
Why not?
I mean, I don't know where you're from. Where are you pointing? I'm trying to look at the map, but I don't see anything.
I'm trying to put
There we
the.
go.
Can nobody see?
Yep. Sorry. It's right in the top
on the
left.
top left
Top
corner.
left hand corner.
Yeah.
Okay. If we need to go there anyway towards the city, then yeah.
Meet at the
Yes.
cave. We can at least regroup to the cave because we need to
Alright,
get Weird
so-
Hal out of there as well because he's ill. So
He's not well. So, Aurelio, are you starting to put the prisoners and Leosin towards the cave? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, as I said, I got nothing else because I don't have any ranged weapons except darts.
Okay. So that's what you're doing, and so you're going to be about halfway towards the cave. Sort of moving towards the cave. So you're sort of dashing, bringing them with you. And that means it is now time for Pedrick. Pedrick.
We're gonna reload and attempt another shot if I can do that in one round.
Crossbows, do you have to spend an action to reload, or is it a bonus action?
Nope, I think he just reloads.
Yeah.
Reload crossbow.
Okay, and take a shot. Yep, that's a hit.
So that's die.
You just
in
click
the
the
chat,
word onto the roll.
yeah,
like
in the
crossbow-
chat
in the
on
chat.
Roll20, you can just press where your 19 popped up in the chat. You can press the light crossbow, and it will roll the damage for that hit.
Okay.
There we are.
6. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you. This is another shot flying straight and true, smacks into his shoulder. He reels back, clutching at it, and he, howling in agony, he rips it out, tossing down one scimitar, rips it out, crouches back to pick up his scimitar, and just looks up at you, and you can see blood staining his teeth in the firelight. Okay, so all right. He is not dead yet, but he looks wounded.
Excellent.
Next person.
That would be me.
That would be you,
Let me
right?
quickly bring up my things again because I don't think any of these will work in. Oh, yes, I can.
You have a crossbow, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I do. And I'm just trying to figure out my goading attack. I thought most of mine were melee attacks, but they're not. So, yeah, here we go. So, I'm going to swap my Warhammer for my light crossbow. Here we go.
A hit.
Right, and I am going to use goading attack. So I can expend one superiority die to attempt to goad the target into attacking you. You can add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than you until the end of your next turn.
So you shoot him and you taunt him while you do so.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Your mother was a hamster.
No, I'm gonna shoot at him and I go, "Hey, remember the Red Dragonborn?" And his wisdom save is, let's have a look. What is it? It is maneuver save is 8 plus 2 plus strength, which is 8 plus 2 plus 5. 8, 9, 10, plus 15 to save against. So he failed that. There we go.
He failed. Okay.
So
he
I
failed.
can now. I roll damage for that,
And an extra 1d8.
and then roll my that one as well. No, that's not right.
I was gonna say that's massive.
Yeah, hang
that
on.
is.
Sorry, yeah. So we got the 2. Hang on a minute. Let me just roll.
Just roll
a
the.
single D8.
Yeah, just roll 1.
There we go. So it's 2 plus. That's 10.
Okay, you shout at him. Remember the red dragon. and you see him look up, and there's this look of horror, dawning comprehension in his face, until your arrow into your bolt pierces right through one of his eye sockets, and he falls backwards with this just look of horror on his face.
Nice.
And he is dead. Okay, you hear that his sort of his cries of pain have you can hear like the a number of sort of like feet seem to be running towards you right now. So I'm not going to take you out of combat just yet. I just want to check. So Vistra will get her turn of moving. So she'll move up another 25 feet. So she's going to hurriedly climb. She's going to use her bonus action to dash.
Yep.
Well, she could dash anyway, but she's going to use her action to dash maybe, and she's going to get up another 25 feet. So she's 25 feet to the top. Next, let's have a quick look.
So I'm just
okay. Yeah, you hear running feet.
I'm just going to sort out tinier space. Hang on a second. Give me a second.
Two very successful shots there, Kellen.
Well, thank you.
That's pretty cool. Glad you guys have crossbows now. I always like throw away the crossbow. I'm never going to use crossbow. You guys just like, yeah, I'm going to take the crossbow.
It's always nice to have some range.
Yeah.
I do, but it's not that big.
I think it's
If I
only
get
60
a longbow,
feet, isn't it?
like if I get a longbow, I could be more useful.
Mm-hmm. I've got a... Let me just check to make sure that I'm playing by the rules. I think I am, but I want to double check that I didn't leave anything out. Yeah, I'll play it. It's all by the rules. Okay.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
It's all right. So you hear the sound of running feet. Rogar, Vistra has done her sort of like her hurried climb. Aurelio, so are you gonna continue getting people?
Yeah, 45 feet of movement. I'm getting Elias out of this place, and he's a monk, so or whatever. So he should be doing it.
You're taking the other prisoners as well, aren't you?
Well, Leosin can barely walk, so he's dragging himself along. He only moves about 20 feet.
And I mean, the other prisoners are either running away on their own or following us.
They're following you. You're the authority figure here. You seem to have a plan. They're following behind you. Okay. So it's Pedrick and Rogue. Sorry, Pedrick, you first. What are you gonna do?
Pedrick, you there?
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. I said, I'm going to look down as Vestra is climbing up and use Healing Word.
Okay, yeah, she's within 25 feet, so yeah, Healing Word on her. What does that do? Okay, well, are you casting it at?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. So you're doing a high level cast. What does that mean? Is that level 2?
No,
Did I
that's
lose
all.
you guys?
Did you lose us? I mean, we can hear
No, no,
you.
I can hear you. I can hear you, but I couldn't hear you talking to me. Just I can hear you now. I can hear you now, Callum.
Or
I can't
not?
hear. I can't hear you now. I can hear Rogar. I can hear you, Ro. Well, no, mute and unmute your thing. Because if you reconnect to Discord, it's going to say turn off all the cameras.
Oh,
There we go.
I got you.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Right,
Brilliant.
yes.
So you're going to cast Healing Word. What is the high level thing? Because I haven't seen that before.
It says if you use as a second level slot, it just does additional healing.
Oh, so it's
Okay,
5
you're
plus
doing-
2 in total, isn't it?
All right. So yeah. So it's seven damage is healed. Excellent. So she's down by 2 at the moment. And don't forget to remove a second level spell slot.
We'll do that right now.
She's on 19 health. There we go. Okay, so Healing Word. Fantastic. And Rogar?
Yeah, I'm just going to, as Vicious, there's nobody in the camp that's kind of heading this way that has malicious intent.
Well, you can hear running footsteps, but they haven't reached you yet.
Okay, I'm gonna reach down, grab the rope that Vicious climbing up, and I'm just gonna help her up, and pull the rest of the rope up as well while I'm at it.
Actually, she's not climbing up the rope; she's climbing up the wall.
Okay.
Because at the time you were sort of helping someone up helping someone up over the edge, so she was climbing up the wall in her own turn.
Okay.
You didn't say that you didn't say that you threw the rope back down, so she kept.
Oh, is the rope
climbing
not
up.
down then at the minute? Is the rope not down on the floor?
No, the
Okay.
rope is by.
And she's 25 feet away, right?
Yeah.
So I can't reach her. Okay. In that case, then I'm just gonna keep my crossbow out, and I will ready my action with a light crossbow bolt. And as soon as I see somebody who has malicious intent, I will shoot at them until Vista is clear.
Well, I'm very tempted to make it you're very tempted for it to be your loving kobold follower who sat down beside you right around the corner.
Oh, I will shoot him square in the face.
All right. So that's one entire round. All right. So. All right. You hear a slipping sound. Someone swears obscenely.
Excellent.
Vistra pulls herself the last 25 feet over the top. Okay, and she turns to you and she's like, "Run!"
Yes, yes.
Okay, you're out of
Dash.
combat. But you
Excellent.
can hear the sound of like anger and you can hear anger and people seem to be sort of like more voices seem to be raised around by the base of the prisoners' camp. And you hear a shock of anger Someone's probably discovered the body.
Yep. Okay. We're just gonna book it. I mean, to the cave. Just book it to the cave.
Okay. You make it sort of about you make about halfway to the cave. Aurelio's already in the cave.
Right.
With the prisoner by this point, he'll have made it all the way there, and if that's the same time frame, you're about halfway to the cave when you start to hear sort of like scrabbling sounds, and you can start to see you get the sort of the idea that people probably climbing up after you.
Up where? Where we just left from over here?
Or at least, yeah, to at least to inspect what's up here.
Okay. I mean, we're all booking it that way, right? I mean, we should have time to get to the
Yep.
cave.
Yep, you okay,
Yep.
yeah, so let me just check one thing. Just in case. Alright, yeah, you make it you manage to make it to the cave. And I mean you're not really looking stealth at this point, but you're still able to push your way through the brush and get into the cave. You push your way in. Aurelio's already there. Five of the prisoners are there. Leo is sort of like pushed up against the wall, sort of like just trying to sort of like burbling a bit to himself. And you run into Aurelio's waiting for you.
On the way into the mouth of the cave, is there loose boulders and stuff that I could just pull into the mouth of the cave just to kind of close it off and basically just cover it up?
No, it's not that. It's quite all that's in front. Sort of like some bushes and some shrubs.
Okay.
So I mean, you had to climb down to get into the cave. It was again. It's very easy to climb down, so you don't need to roll to do it. But basically, you would go, you run across, then you sort of climb down, and what sort of it's a sort of a little plateau that's sort of hidden from the rest of the camp by the brush and the scrub. If someone were to look carefully, you know where it is because Vistra showed you where it is. If someone were to look carefully, they might find it, but they'd have to be lucky.
Right. Okay. Oh well, we'll just get deep into we get everybody as deep as we can into the cave then, I suppose, and then we can take a breather and decide what the next course of action is going to be.
Okay, 5 minutes pass. 5 minutes pass, and you start to hear that the sounds outside are not quieting down; they're getting louder.
All right.
I would still suggest we just get the fuck out of this place.
Can the cleric do anything
It's
with
gonna
these?
make more patrols. They're just
Yeah.
gonna make more
Yeah.
people.
And
It's about 4 o'clock in the morning at time, so it's still relatively dark.
And yeah, we should use the darkness to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, fair enough. While we're just taking this beat, can the cleric do anything with the prisoners? And I look.
that's what I was
expectantly at
about to
Pedro.
say. The one injured one I was going to cure wounds on so that he could
But
move better.
Leosin, yeah, you can cure wounds on Leosin if you want. Might help, yeah.
He's probably even if we get into a fight, he needs to win. He's
That's awful.
best.
Okay, so four healing points, still better than enough. You see some of the sort of the cuts start to lessen in size. Some of the swelling starts to go down. He sort of struggles to his feet, and he's definitely still in terrible shape. But he looks at you and he sort of nods. He's able to sort of stagger to his feet on his own power.
Just a question: what kind of cleric are you?
War cleric.
Okay.
All right. So how do we want to approach this then? Do we want to get Vistra to kind of get out there first and scout the way?
I would suggest we just move as fast and
Just run?
as quiet as we can, or at least as fast as we can. But if you want somebody to scout,
I mean, we obviously don't want to get, run into, 20 of these cultists at any one time. We can handle a few at a time, but I mean, if we happen to come across
the more time we give them to organize themselves into parties and search parties, the worst we're gonna get off.
We need to head out around and back down that path behind the cave.
Well, we'll head down this way, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. So we're just going to book it then? Are we just going to, we've done what we can here and just book it?
I don't see what other option we have.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, we're gonna. Yeah. Well. Okay. Fair enough. It looks like Weird Hal. Sorry, but you're just gonna have to buck up and up you get, and let's go.
Right, gonna have to hang in there.
All right. So you end up. You sort of start to climb down. So is that what you're doing? You're climbing out of the cave, and you're going to start climbing down here.
I think so. Yeah, we're kind of heading down this way to there.
All right. You managed to. You actually managed to climb down with very little difficulty. Part of the wall is quite easy to scale. Even the local sort of prisoners are able to do it. I mean, these are hardy men and women. They've probably spent their lives in this sort of area, done some mountain climbing and rock climbing in their youth. You know, they I mean, probably not for fun, probably to search for errant sheep and things like that. But they have done it. You know, they're not. These are not foppish people or anything. So they managed to climb down. They're following your directions. You're telling them to climb down. That this is the best time to go. It's still pretty dark. There's a hint of sun sort of peeking over the horizon, but it's not quite high enough yet for that. Weird Hal is sort of following you, sort of like holding his stomach and feeling, just looking miserable. He's going to be no use in a fight whatsoever, but he is able to walk under his own power. No one has to carry him. Same with Leosin. Leosin is not in very good state at all. He can walk, but his walking speed is kind of slowed to a shuffle about 25 feet now, compared to what he was walking before. So you managed to make it to the base. You can. Who's got the highest passive perception?
Let's see here.
I'm 10.
16.
Oh,
all right.
damn.
So Aurelio. Oh wow. Okay, Aurelio. You are able. Your keen ears are able to pick up that there's a lot of noise and shouting coming from the camp, and you can hear the bellow of a creature which is definitely not a human or a kobold, enraged, absolutely enraged. It seems like the noise is still centered in the camp, but it seems that the bellow is sort of quieting things down a bit.
Pick up the pace, guys. I'm hearing some roaring.
Do we think is it half dragon size roaring or full on dragon size roaring?
I honestly do not want to stay around to discover that.
No. Well, we're just gonna book it northwest, right?
Okay, so you start to head. You got the prisoners with you. Excuse me while I do this. So you travel for about 20 minutes. All right. Now, again, this is sort of if you remember, this is kind of a rocky sort of bushy land. It's not the easiest to traverse, but you can definitely make your way through without suffering from any penalties for actual movement. So the first 20 minutes are quite uneventful. You can still hear the sound coming from the camp. It's that you're 20 minutes away, but you can still hear noises in the distance. You keep traveling towards Greenest, ushering the prisoners, the rescued prisoners along with you as you do so. And just as you're about to turn sort of around this rocky outcrop, you come across a small sort of scattered settlement. And as you approach it, you see, where is it? Where's it gone? Is it this one? Yes, sorry. Here we go. You see this. To pull you over. Sorry guys, this is my roll 20 ineptness. Here we go. I'm trying to. I've got so many maps now. I'm gonna have to try and sort them. So you see a number of little huts, and these huts. Amongst these huts, you see. Come on, don't be ridiculous. Why is this not working? Which shift not working? Yeah, there we go. Sorry. The dynamism has just disappeared, hasn't it? It was really dynamic, and now it's like up an email. Okay, there we go. I've just got to get these guys there. I had it all lovely with all these campfires and just no. And you see an advanced sort of scouting force has been sent ahead of you to try and cut you off. They seem to be well-dressed sort of fighters that were protecting the prisoners, the same one that Rogar took through the eye. Okay, and they look pissed. Beside them is a guy, purple-robed cultists, and he is gesturing wildly in your direction. So you come in from here. Oh, wrong one here. You come in from here. So can you place your token, please?
I missed. Did you ping that somewhere? I missed where you pinged.
Sort of you come in sort of on.
Ah, right, yep.
Okay.
Right. Are we rolling initiative, yeah?
Yep.
Hey, it's not so bad this time.
I was asleep. Y'all were dragging me behind you, apparently.
Well, you probably did. You probably been sort of shepherding the prisoners, haven't you? He's very tired. No, we can't stop. I'll leave you behind. Okay, so we should have our 1, 2, 3, 4. So Rogar, Aurelio. I need you to roll again, Pedrick, because I don't have you on the list.
Make sure you click on your character first.
Ah, that's what I didn't do. Let
Yep.
me do that.
We get Vistra on the board as well. She's.
There we go. Did that work?
As
There we go. Yeah.
well. All right, so Vistra should now be on there as well.
Yep.
All right, so the first person to go is the Acolyte. And the Acolyte, he is going to cast. He is going to cast Bless. Okay, and so he's going to bless the 3 dragon claws. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can only bless this one dragon, but he's going to bless him. Okay, because he's not in range for the rest of them. Okay, so this guy here is blessed. All right. Until next turn. He's going to then move a little bit, shuffle a little bit, so that he's in more range with the others. Next person to go is this Dragon Claw here, and he's going to go 1, 2. Run towards you. He's going to he's going to stay where he is. He's going to run towards you, and he is going to prepare a defensive action. He's going to be prepared to defend himself. Next person to go is Vistra. Vistra is going to try and see if she can hide somewhere as her bonus action. Hiding requires a stealth check. Sorry, I'm doing it's like I'm trying to do that. So she got a 20. Yeah, she's going to hide. Let me just check the Dragon Claw. He has. Yeah, he's got passive. He's got. Yeah, he's going to. He's not going to make that, I don't think. No. He can't see her. So she's hidden, and then she's going to shoot that Dragon Claw. So she ducks into a bush, comes up from seems to come up from behind him, and she takes a shot, doing a sneak attack at this chappie here because she has advantage, and she is going to do a sneak attack with her short bow.
Damn.
She got a 22, so she hits. She does 12 damage on this guy here.
Was that this one, was it?
Actually, I should have done the farther away one, shouldn't I? Sorry about that. And next person is this Dragon Claw here. He's going to run and be there as well. And it's Aurelio's turn.
Okay. Let's see. 75. So cool. So I'm gonna do something fun.
Okay.
Probably gonna move into these guys' range, but I'm gonna. Oh, this is still, I think, far away from my.
60 feet is the maximum range for your dart.
Yeah, that's maximum range. So I'm gonna try and toss a dart at that guy.
Okay.
And which one at the Acolyte?
The Acolyte.
Yep.
Is there a reason you have advantage?
Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Sorry, I apologize. You're right. 14. Let me just check what the Acolyte can do. I think that's definitely a hit. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's a hit.
So he takes 9 points of damage. I think he rolls concentration for bless.
Yep.
And because that was a monk weapon, I'm gonna.
You don't get an extra attack with a monk weapon if it's a dart. Oh, you can punch the guy in front of you. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm just. It was not even a monk. It's an attack. So I'm gonna just hit the guy, spend a key point, and hit the guy in front of me twice.
Okay. But you can only do that if flurry of blows if it's the attack after your monk weapon. It's just you had 2 attacks instead of 1.
Let me just confirm.
It is, yeah.
That is an weapons.
Flurry of blows is just like an extension of your extra unarmed.
It still says at first level, practice martial arts combat styles that use unarmed strikes in monk weapons, which are short swords and any simple melee weapons that don't melee. Okay.
Yeah, melee.
Benefits.
So I'm just going to let you know, by the way, your dart, your feathered dart this guy in the throat, and he falls down stone dead.
Yes.
Awesome. So no more magic. That's good. Then I'm just gonna punch the guy in front of me. Oh, sorry. I need to reroll
Okay.
because I didn't roll properly. So 14.
Okay. If it's your unarmed strike, does it get your bonuses? It doesn't get bonuses. 2 damage, I believe.
Yes, it gets all
24.
my bonuses. It's all counted in.
Are you sure? Because I remember just rolling a 1d4 and doing 1d4 damage. I don't remember doing my bonus on top of that. I'm just checking. I'm sorry, because
It is. It
you get your
goes for
regular
everything.
attack, and then you do 1d4 instead of 1 point of damage. Plus your plus your bonuses. All right, cool. I have to double check I haven't done the monk rules for a while. I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure that's it sounds right to me. So, yep. You basically, you come up on this guy who's got an arrow sticking in his jugular, and is it like a casual backhand or something?
No, I tossed the dart over his shoulder to kill the sorcerer guy, whatever, and then I run up to him and punch him in the face and turn him around completely.
Okay, his neck just spins around. Down. Brilliant. All right, next person to go is Rogar.
Sure. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna, at the top of my voice, go "Rah!" and I'm gonna swing my hammer and swing wide. Give myself advantage for my attack. And I'm going to spin round and smack this guy with my warhammer.
You mean you're doing a feint?
I'm doing a feinting attack. Yep. Does a 24 hit?
Oh, I don't know.
And then I will do that plus that. Oh, what are you doing? No, that plus that. So it's 10 plus 2, 12.
No, because we set it up so if you rolled 1d8, so you just have, instead of rolling your warhammer attack next time fainting, just roll the fainting attack.
Oh, of course.
Remember we set it up so that it would be like you did a
about
fainting
that,
attack, it did 8 damage.
Yeah, I've done it that way this time anyway. So it's 12 damage.
All right, so you bring this hammer around and you smack him. His head is it almost looks like it's staved in. He's got his 2 scimitars out and he's sort of like rocking back and forth on his feet. He's not falling though. He's not falling. He's still on his feet. He sort of turns towards you. Take more than that. Next person to go is going to be this Dragonclaw here, and he has he's going to dash in a rage towards Radio, and this one here. He's going to dash here. Okay, cool. Next person to go is Pedrick. Pedrick Strombrig.
Well, let me see. The battlefield has changed since I had made up my mind, so...
You're a human, so you can move 30 feet.
Right.
You could probably make the one here next to Aurelia.
The one right here. Well.
Oh, I forgot. The new things from me killing things is I get temporary HP. So.
Yes, you do.
Oh damn!
You get is it 4 or 5 HP?
It's wisdom plus my monk level, which is a lot. I get.
But you get a maximum though. There's a max.
Nope. It just says wisdom plus my monk level, which is
wisdom modifier plus your monk level, or
yep.
the full
wisdom modifier. So that's 7 points. So yeah, as I punch the guy, I just like punch through him and then extract his life force into me.
Okay, so you have 7 temporary hit points.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Damn.
Okay. Pedrick?
Pedrick is going to cast Guiding Bolt on this gent right here.
Is that a level 1 or a level 2 spell?
Level 1.
Okay, cool. So Guiding Bolt. Okay, it's a 14. What's the rule if you don't hit?
It doesn't say. It's a
Nothing.
ranged attack.
So
Yeah, range attack.
misses.
So,
Careful,
if it's the same, what's the rule for armor? It has to beat the armor, doesn't it?
or match
Meets
it.
or beats.
Okay, well, it hits them. That is a hit, Sir Pedrick. And now I've just helped you guys figure out exactly. Oh wow! Okay, wow. This is the one. This is the one that you just clocked in the head, Rogar, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So he turns around. You think yes enough? What does your guiding bolt look like, Pedrick? I mean, everybody's
It's
magic
a brilliant
looks differently.
flare. It's a brilliant flare of light that extends from me into the target.
Okay, so this almost like a Roman candle. That sort of like flame of light. Catherine wheel sort of thing. Okay, so this ray of light sort of beams out and just like hits into his body. He's like a black silhouette for a second, and then he just becomes like ash, and it just like flies into the wind. It's sort of past Rogar's face. He turns and you can see sort of Pedrick standing there with his outstretched hands, like smoking. Yes, let me just remove that obstacle there. Next person to go is going to be Vistra. She's because she's got people standing next to these guys now. So she's going to take a shot with her bow, and she's going to shoot at this chap. So Vistra. Sneak attack on her short bow. Oh, she doesn't have advantage. Sorry, I've got normal. What did I roll?
A 17. Or
17.
A 6.
All right, so 17. Well, if I take the left,
17 on the left.
that's a hit. So, so that's a hit, and that is a very nice 12 damage. Wow. I'm rolling better than you, darling. All right. So again, the arrow flies at an enraged guys running at Aurelio. You killed the master! Running out, and then suddenly this arrow just comes flying out over Aurelio's shoulder, and she's like, "Not the only one who can shoot over someone's shoulder." Smacks into, and she says, "Now finish him off." And Aurelio, it's down to you.
Isn't this guy dead?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I mean, he ran to you. You didn't got up to.
So yeah, I'm gonna first smack him with the quarter staff to finish him off. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pull over his body to this place. And then, is this guy hurt at all?
Nope.
No.
Use key points to do flurry of blows. Because there's no such thing as overkill.
Okay. So you get behind him and sort of smacking him from behind. You would obviously you punched, you smacked this guy, you sucked in the life force of the other guy, but obviously you're full at the moment.
And actually, this should have been with advantage, but I don't care. I'm gonna do the other one with advantage.
Well, you hit him anyway. This one, the advantage hit him.
I mean, advantage is just crit fishing.
Okay, crit fishing. All right.
And the second one is also 9 damage.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's still 9 damage. You do 9 damage. So multiple blows. You can see like sort of like impacts hitting on his body, right through. It's ripping through the leather armor, but still standing on 2 feet. Okay, he's so he swings back towards you and Rogar.
So he's taking 18 points of damage. He's still standing. That's cool.
He hasn't taken 18 points of damage. He's taken 9 points of damage.
18.
4 plus 5.
Yeah,
That's
twice.
2 strikes.
Yeah, so that's 18.
Oh, all right. I thought that was the 2 of them together.
Nope. I flurry of blows.
Okay,
I
I
have to-
know. I just needed. Okay, all right, cool. 18 points of damage. Yes, that's enough to kill him. So he's gone.
Okay.
All right. Well done, guys. All right. So stay where you are just for the moment. I need to do a bit more. No. No. Yes. Okay. So, you keep ushering in. Just trying to get to the right. Sorry, 1 minute. So, as you get to the, so you're sort of getting towards the, oh God, my head is blurring at the moment. Whew, sorry, it's a bit late, and we're nearly at the end of this part of the adventure. But so as you sort of get to, you can sort of see greenest in the distance, and just sort of as you're getting towards it, you hear an almighty roaring sound, and from sort of galloping out towards you, we're going to keep the same screen because I only have the one, I'm afraid, planned for today. But you see this what happens is you see this absolutely huge, beefy, mixture of dragon and dog, dragon and hound, and it is galloping towards you. Where is it? There. Token.
Can I ready in action if it gets in 30 feet to hit it
Nope.
with a dart?
No, it's coming up. It's coming up towards you, and there's no surprise round, no ready. All right, and basically just jumping directly into combat with the same initiatives as before. We just do character sheet. Okay. So, first person to go will be. First person
Are we
to go.
starting fresh on the round, or
No, I'll just keep the same ones because we're already. So we're going quite a bit over the time limit for this today. So, this is just going to go first. She's just going to try and hide. That's all she's going to do to start off with. And so she's going to take a stealth check. And the animal is. Yeah, so yeah, she manages to duck out of the way. She's hidden and she's going to wait for the opportune moment to strike. Next person is Aurelio.
oh, so she's not attacking. How far away is this take? 60. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull back a bit, stand next to Rogar, and then I'm gonna wait for it to come into 30 feet and hit it with a dart.
So you're preparing an action. Okay.
Yep.
Next person, Rogar. Oh, sorry, Rogar. It's your turn. I just cancelled one out of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ready my warhammer to hit it when it gets close. I can't reach it, so
Okay, so if it gets in close combat, you're going to.
yeah, if it gets close enough for me to hit it, I'm just gonna wallop it one.
Okay. Where is this? Oh, I know what I did. Sorry. 1 second. I got to make it separate, otherwise it doesn't stay up. All right. All right. So it's going to move. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna. Well, it's gonna be 6. I would. Yeah. All right. So it's gonna move. Aurelio, because it gets within range.
Okay. Sending 1 dart. Sorry, I rolled advantage. God damn it. Roll normal.
Okay.
Miss.
Yep. It just flies past, or clatters off its scales. All right. And then so it will continue moving towards a dash towards you. So Rogar, you'll get your attack as well.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that by advantage. Never mind. Well, they're both pretty good anyway.
It's all right. Just take the left hand number.
9 damage.
Okay. Takes 9 damage. You smack it, and it crunches on its armor. It looks, growls menacingly.
I growl back.
Okay, so that's cool. Next person to go is Pedrick. Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith on Rogar.
Very nice. So +2 AC to Rogar.
Oh, damn!
Okay, +2 AC for the duration. So as long as you hold it, you with your concentration,
Pretty much
Rogar's
become
gonna be pretty
unhittable.
Okay, Mistra's gonna take a shot. She's gonna sort of go into hide. She's out of hiding. She's going to take a shot at this guy. She gets advantage because she's been hidden, and she's going to get her sneak attack. So she shoots at this chap, and she misses terribly. It just flies over Rogar. It just flies into the sky. Aurelio, you're next.
Okay, I'm just gonna swing around, get advantage, and then go to town.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that would be advantage. But
Yeah.
it's okay, it hits.
Well, I am. You know what? I have never let you guys roll stats. You guys are so overpowered. It's ridiculous. Oh god, it's like playing with demigods in the team.
You wait until we get to level 20.
Oh god, well, you won't
Don't
get to
tell
level
me
20.
I killed it already.
No, you haven't killed it already.
Okay.
8 damage. No way have you killed this thing.
Okay, okay. Another flurry of blows. So we need to get out of here. Unarmed strike advantage number 1.
Okay, that's a hit.
That's 6
damage.
points. And unarmed
Yep.
strike number 2.
Okay. It's still
So-
alive. It's
Sure.
a bit wounded.
So I smack it and then I land 2 kicks as I'm in the air, and then I just land behind it and wait.
Okay. Rogar.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit it one.
Don't fear. Yeah, you now have advantage.
19.
Okay, that's a hit.
Nice.
Okay, it's looking quite wounded now.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my no, not that one. I'm gonna take my action surge.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smack it again.
Cool. It gives a groan and falls to the ground dead.
Whoop, whoop.
Sorry, my best material is not on the table. So,
It's like-
he's dead. He's gone.
He's dead. He's dead. It's all right because we're just
He
running.
He gets a light cough and then just falls over.
It's kind of 4:20, and I would like to get some sleep before sun comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, dude. But you joined us at 2 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I just smack, knock it. Meanwhile, we're still running. I do it while I'm running.
That is true. You are still running.
We are getting the fuck up.
All right. Let's have a quick. Let me just check something quickly because I need to know. I need to know what to tell you. I need to know about the stuff that is true. Okay. Nice. Good. All right. And finally, I've got to roll one more time. Unless this is very unlucky. Oh, you guys are just so lucky. Okay, you managed to. Through the gate of Greenest without any more. As you come in through the gate, you're ushering in five prisoners. You've got Leo sitting in front of you, and Governor Nightingale is standing. He saw you coming, and he's standing with sort of a set of militia ready to greet you. They've got their sort of bows ready and their spears, and they start to close the gate behind you. He walks towards you and says, "Ah, my friends, you return triumphant, and I see you have done far more than even I could have expected of you. Thank you, my friends."
Now close the gates.
The gates close, and that is where we will end our adventure today.
Awesome. Good job.
This is definitely like a heist. Planning off like a heist. This guy's out. I'd loved it. Anyway, the problem is that with the map, I had to cut out things. Next time, I need to make sure that the map is a little bit more detailed for that sort of thing. All right, so I can either sort out. I'll need about 5 minutes to sort out experience. If you don't mind waiting. If you want to do it in the next game, I don't mind. I can sort it out and give it to you at the beginning of the next game. What would you prefer?
We can wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can
All
give
right.
it 5 minutes.
So
Yeah.
you guys, I think we'll end the stream here, though, guys. We'll experience sort of off cam.
Yep, absolutely.
So we'll end the stream right now, guys. It's been absolutely amazing. You've been watching us. Thank you so much. I haven't been able to keep in contact with anything that's been going on Twitch, but anybody who's been lurking, anybody who's been watching, thank you so much. We really do this for fun, and thank you to Callum for joining us today, and hopefully for more games in the future.
Yep,
we'll be seeing Pedrick strong.
I think you cut off just at the end there.
All right.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I just said thanks. I said thanks to you, Callum, for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
And hopefully we'll see Pedrick Stormbrig in some future games.
Absolutely, for sure.
Fantastic. I'm glad we didn't put you off.
Oh, no. No, I'm just trying to get used to it all again. It's been fun.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, so thanks to everybody who's been part of today. Thanks to Missy TTV. Thanks to Miniax Miniatures. Even though he's not here today, he's been talking in the chat. It's been quite fun at the beginning, at least. Thanks to Base of Operations for his stirring Rogar. Thank you for the magnificent martial arts, Aurelio. And thanks again to Pedrick Stormbrig. Thank you, Cam, for joining us today. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'm many more. Xander, I'm your Dungeon Master, and this has been loads of fun. And I am knackered. I don't know about you. So.
One final thing. Don't forget to join us on the BLS Discord. I've put the link in the chat as well.
Yes.
We love having new people come along with us. So, yeah. Join us. Become one of us.
Join us.
Lovely.
Wow,
All right. Well, we'll end the stream now. And I'll say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.